Better fix my hair
One
again.
out of 2.
Gotta
That's right.
apply the blush. I swear the camera adds 10 pounds.
No, it's just you.
No, you're just fat.
Tighten my girdle here. Oh.
Oh, what? Oh, boy.
Oh, come on. I muted those. I muted both before we went live. You bastards.
They betrayed you.
Welcome to Talking Heads, episode 38. Can you believe 38 already?
We're rolling.
We are
man.
rolling. Coming up on a year.
That's wild.
Ever faster. I'm Jeff.
I'm Rhett.
Welcome to the show. Lot of news this week. Lot of controversy. Lot of barbs thrown. A lot of really good marketing by AMD.
Yeah, I know. This is wild. It's just...
Yeah. So that was your week. It's been a wild one for me.
Yeah, this whole month... We were just talking about this before we got on air, but this... June is almost gone. It's upon us.
John thought it was May last week still. He actually commented, man, it is really humid, and we're not used to this in May. And I said, John, it's June now. He goes, well, yeah, just on. No, it's like the 5th. It's like the 20th. Come on.
It's almost over. Like once the summer solstice passes, it's over with basically.
Yep.
Yeah, this week was wild. I freaking just worked so much, racking the miles on my car, which sucks.
Yeah.
But and it was really hot out a lot of the time. I had to work from my car one day, no AC.
It was really hot last Wednesday and Thursday.
Must have been last. Yeah, I was gonna say
it was pretty. Like I almost didn't take the top down on my car on the way home. It's like no, I need the AC.
I know. Like one day I went out and took my motorcycle for a spin, and it was too hot even on my motorcycle. I was like, no.
Yeah, one of those days that unless you're doing 80, you're not staying cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh.
What about you?
Oh, it's been a long week already. I'm tired. I was up till 3 a.m. getting the video turned out last night because I didn't finish the edit on Monday like I should have.
Right.
And I'm really trying to hold myself to a schedule on this channel to just be more consistent. I was pretty easily able to do 1 video per week, but I'm trying to do 2 videos per week now. And it's like as soon as one is done, you're moving on to the next one already.
Yeah, you don't even have time to let it marinate.
In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was working on like 3 videos at once. I had the script written, I had all the reviews done, and then I sat down and I filmed 3 episodes in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And I also threw in 2 for Modders Inc. at the same time. So I did like 5 episodes in 2 days.
Jeez.
And then I had to sit down and edit them all. So usually I'm very linear with my approach, where I will sit down and I'll work on 1 video and I'll do the hardware for it and I'll review it and then I'll write the script and then I'll shoot it and then I'll edit it and then I'll post it and then I'll think about the next thing.
Right.
And so working on the tons of multiple projects at once and keeping all those balls in the air.
Right. I wonder if it's ever going to come to the point where, like, when you're scripting out what you need to do, you just start putting in a shot list. That way, like, you can just bulk shoot all of your stuff.
I'm really close to doing that.
Right.
I am seriously close to doing that already. The other thing in my head is I tend to micromanage how my videos go. And so even when I'm doing the review, I'm thinking about, okay, what shots do I need? What am I going to talk about? How do I get the message across that I need to get across? And to me, every video should be a story. It really should be. Otherwise, it's not interesting. You're just listening to me talk.
Right.
So there has... like in comedy, there has to be a beginning and a middle and an end, and there has to be a payoff.
Right, yeah.
So... Yeah. But trying to become more of a multitasking video producer, it's a little challenging when you're not used to that kind of workflow.
Right, yeah.
Plus, the last 2 weeks, I've been working on my Threadripper build, which is my video editing workstation. So I take my workstation down to do the video, and I have to shoot my video while it's decommissioned, and then make sure it's back up that day so I can edit that video. That's a nightmare.
That sucks. I don't envy you.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well.
Let's get into some news.
Whoa. What?
What's that? What? Oh gosh.
Whoa.
That's how bad this week has been.
I was gonna.
I completely forgot to pour a beer.
I was trying so hard to think of something funny to say, and I was like, "This is just sad." Okay, Jeff, let me take control here. What would you like to drink, a pale ale or a delicious coffee stout?
You know, I got the stout glasses out.
Well, we're drinking stouts.
Let's slam this stout down.
Sir?
Now, these are a little bit special.
They are.
These are a little bit special. This is a new brewery in Salem called Ratchet Brewing, and it's actually a really good friend of pretty much all of us.
Yeah.
We all know Dan and Julie. But he's been a home brewer for a number of years. Him and John and Steve did a lot of home brewing together. And finally, Dan actually took the plunge and he goes, screw it, I'm opening a building. And I'm opening a brewery. And I have to say, every single one of his beers is very, very good.
They're so good. I have had such a hard time.
I don't think he has a 10 yet, but all of his beers are at least solid 7s and 8s.
Yeah.
And Dan, I'm not saying that if you're watching as a negative. You'll get a 10. You're gonna find a 10.
Right.
But to not have any of them that aren't good,
right,
that's pretty awesome. and I gotta say, this one's probably a 9. The Rev It Up is probably my favorite.
I love the Rev It Up. This was the first beer from Ratchet Brewing that I had. I'm happy to keep it alive.
Yep. So this is the Rev It Up Coffee Stout. And all of his beers are automotive themed. And if you walk into his bar and his brew house, his taster trays are giant cogs. And he's got pistons hanging on the wall. And
I thought that they would run out of car puns and like mechanical puns.
They haven't yet.
They haven't yet, and I'm starting to think that it's just like a bottomless well.
Yeah. Well, honestly, when I started this channel, thinking about how am I going to keep beer and tech going together, I thought, man, I'm going to be like 6 videos in and struggling for content or struggling for beer or struggling to hook this in. And what I found is you don't have to push one or the other. You can just sit down and drink a beer. Now, if you noticed, in none of my videos have I drank the same beer twice. And the only time we've drank a beer twice on the live show is if I have 2 bottles left from the 6-pack that we downed last week. And it's like, we're late in the show. Okay, let's do it. So...
Well, before you forget.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Cheers to you all. Thank you.
So, Ratchet Brewing Rev It Up Coffee Stout, 5.8%, and fantastic.
If you're down in around the Salem area, make sure you get on over to Ratchet Brewing. They got a great little spot over there.
Yep.
And it's perfect. I mean, I was having a hard time getting in there for the last couple months, and I've gone out of my way because now, especially, I'm living more in the area too. So I've gone there after work several times this week alone. So it is great. And I was gonna fill up a growler.
Yeah.
And Dan insisted that he can give me 2 separate beers to try on the show. So.
Nice. Awesome. Well played, Dan. Well played.
Cheers.
So, yeah. Honestly, it's a little bit lighter drinking stout. It's not a real thick stout, but the flavor is just fantastic.
Oh, it's great. It almost has that cola nut flavor almost.
Yes. It's a real roasty flavor, but without tasting burnt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real good roast flavor.
I love it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's got that real dark color that I love in a stout.
Yep.
But like you said, it's actually a lot more lighter bodied.
Yes.
A little crispier.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, crisp is a good word for it.
Yeah. Unlike the last time I was on, we had the one from Rogue that was just pouring used motor oil out, and then it was thick and.
That's right. We had Rogue Week when you were on last time. I forgot about that. Yeah, we did the. Gosh, what one was that? Because they sent me the 6-hop.
Shakespeare? Does that sound familiar?
No, it was the. It was the double chocolate stout.
Why did I say Shakespeare?
I don't know.
Because of the
chocolate. Yeah, it was the Rogue double chocolate stout, and that was used motor oil.
Yeah, it was had the consistency of it. Yeah,
stout.
it's like that scene in 3 Kings where they're pumping oil into the mouths. Only seen the movie once. So. That's the only scene I remember. I might not even be in that movie. So.
Anyway, let's get to some news now that I'm properly fueled.
Absolutely.
Sticking with the car puns. All right, back 1 tab.
Oh no.
There you go.
Oh.
All right. So, like everyone else in the beer industry, Miller Coors has announced that they are seriously considering puffing the Green Dragon, as they say.
Yeah. Do you think that? for me, this just seems like too little, too late. Like really, like.
Well, the thing is, no big players have done it yet.
Right.
There's been hemp-inspired beers. We did a story last week where what brewery was it? John, help me out.
Oh, yeah.
One brewery was starting to make THC-infused beer.
Right, and they were one that it was like, oh, yeah, they would.
Oh, yeah, of course, right.
Yeah. Who was that?
I don't remember. It wasn't the one in Colorado. It was another one.
Well, I guess this kind of makes sense anyways, though, because anybody who's following the news, and not just tech news, knows that Canada became one of the first countries to legalize...
Not just decriminalize, legalize.
Legalize marijuana nationwide, absolutely. Yep. So this is a cool, bold move from these dudes breaking into an untapped market. Untapped, there's your pun for the day. You're welcome.
So... I don't think it's too little too late. They're certainly not the first player in the game to announce, hey, we're going to look at weed, because who's not looking at weed if you're in the craft beer industry or the wine industry or whatever craft, whatever industry. You're probably looking at weed. It's an up-and-coming market. But no one's really brought anything to market that's THC active or that has the effects of it. Or there's a couple edibles that are on the market that you can buy locally. There's a couple other things like that. But no one's doing it in beer or wine or spirits or anything like that yet.
Yeah, it's and it's fast moving. Like I don't know. I remember when it was legalized here in Oregon, and how quickly did you see shops start opening
everywhere?
Up? I remember before you could even legally go in and buy it, there was more shops in Salem than there were McDonald's.
Yeah,
McDonald's and Starbucks combined. I think I
passed 3 on my way through Salem. There's another one in West Salem. There's
I mean, dude, Hubbard has one.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, hop capital of the world has a weed dispensary.
I mean, there are so many in Salem.
I'm going to let the dog out, even though he'll want back in 5 minutes.
I can count a dozen off the top of my head, and that's not even how many there are. So yeah, this is pretty cool. It'll be interesting to follow. I'm interested, since they legalize it federally, I want to see statistics when it's all said and done in, well, the obvious one that they're always talking about, like opioid use, but also alcohol consumption.
Right.
Be interesting to see how legalization of marijuana impacts alcohol consumption, because, you know, a lot of people, they always equate them, but, like, really, it's two very different things.
Right.
So I wonder if, like, they're going to be kind of mutually exclusive, or if you're going to have a lot of people who are like, you know what, I don't need to drink beer as much or drink alcohol as much and just start ripping up.
Right. I want to see sales numbers. I want to see tax numbers. I want to see... I'm interested in the industry side of it.
Right.
What it's going to disrupt. Because it will disrupt something.
Right.
To some degree.
Yeah, big pharma.
That's not a bad one to disrupt.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know what's amazing is my dog, he's old now, and he has super bad hips, really bad joints. He wobbles around. He can barely climb upstairs anymore. And my folks bought him some, like, CBD-infused medicine. I don't know if they give it to him orally or if it's, like, something they apply to him. But they sent me video. He's a brand new dog.
Yeah.
He's brand new dog.
Yeah.
He's running and playing. He was going upstairs he hadn't even looked at in like 3 years. Yeah. It's just wild. I mean,
someone says implying you guys don't smoke. I actually don't. I never have.
Yeah?
Never have. I've been more into beer, liquor, spirits, cocktails, even wine to a certain extent. I just never have had the desire. Now, I have no feelings one way or the other with weed. I don't care if it's legalized. I'd prefer it is legalized because then it's taxed.
Right.
And
the amount of money Oregon has made off the tax is just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kudos to you if you smoke, but it's one of those things that I think legalization even makes it like more acceptable to just be like, yeah, I don't smoke, you know?
Now I do suffer from migraines, and I would like to try it, but I'm not a real big smoker. I'll have a cigar or two per year. Like when we have a poker night, I'll sit down and I'll have a scotch and a cigar.
Absolutely.
And that's my cigar for 6 months.
Is it technically poker without scotch and
I
cigars?
don't think it qualifies.
I think it's just called cards at that point.
Yeah. Got any threes?
Go fish.
So, but yeah, I'm not a big smoker in general. Like, I'll have a cigar or a cigarette occasionally, but it's...
Well, you know what a real stoner would tell you, Jeff, is that you don't have to smoke to get high.
That's exactly right.
You can eat these factory-made edibles. You could... I don't know. That's all I can think. Oh, they got the vaporizer. But I guess that's smoking, technically.
What kind of temps would you get using CBD as a coolant? I don't know, man. Renovatio Juris is asking the real questions. Yeah.
Just put it on the joints of your computer, man, and then like it's just gonna take off like a cheetah.
Okay.
Whoa. Careful.
Yep, I know I can eat it as well. I know there's pill form. I know there's non-psychoactive forms. I know there's a whole bunch of different stuff. I've just never gotten into it.
Yeah.
I'm not a medicated person.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't even like taking Tylenol or Excedrin or anything like that. I'd rather just suffer through it for an hour or a day or whatever and then just get back to it.
Yeah.
So.
I getcha. Well, nothing wrong with that.
Tony, $2. Need a new channel. Toke Computing.
Toke Computing.
Be right back making a YouTube channel.
Yeah. We better get on this before.
Reverend Godspeed.
Oh my God! Watch, we're gonna get off the show tonight. We're gonna look up the domains. They're all gonna be.
They're all gonna be gone. Yeah.
Toke Computing, Joint Computing.
Be right back. Reserving that domain because someone screwed me out of craftcomputing.com, and I haven't forgotten that.
That still gets me.
It still ticks me
The other day,
off.
I was sitting at home thinking about.
It was 6 hours.
Because I sometimes just go and cruise domain names to see what's available.
Yeah.
That hurts me. That one's painful. Mm-hmm. I sometimes buy domains just because, like, oh, wouldn't that be so fun? And then it sits in my freaking, domain thing. Whatever.
Yep. All right, what's next?
Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. Going right down the list. Hey, you know what we really like is newsletters that don't have X marks.
Just click off it, I think. Yeah.
Oh, God. You got to be smarter than the computer, friends.
Oh, you're one too far forward.
What? No.
Yeah, we didn't do that one.
Oh, God. Don't trust me with anything.
I know. It's a new system.
What's funny...
Rett's getting used to it.
I had this one all ready to go because I was very excited about it.
I know you did. So, in Germany, some archaeologists investigating the Roman Empire and the ruins of the Great Roman Empire have found a recipe and the location where they made, processed, etc., a 2,550-year-old beer. And like I said, this was discovered in Germany. They not only discovered the recipe, which... what did one of the Roman emperors say
he said,
like?
He said, it smelt like a billy goat, but it got the job done. Thanks, Emperor. I want to know who said that.
I want to know who said that, because that's an amazing quote.
It's Marcus Aurelius. He's just like, he's writing up meditations and like in redefining the Stoic philosophy, but also getting trashed and calling people's beer billy goats.
Yep.
See, this is what's kind of cool too. Is like, I know that it says here that that it was, I guess they uncovered these specially constructed ditches. Is what it says on here.
Yep.
But what's kind of cool is I love the idea of like what, basically like these holes in the ground teach people. Like I remember in England they found a like a garbage dump basically, and they pulled out all this stuff and they were able to uncover like what it was like in just daily life in Rome-controlled England.
Right.
And it was like they found a letter from a Roman legionnaire back to his mom in Rome, and he's just like, yeah, Mom, weather sucks here. It's raining all the time. There's nothing to do. I hate it. And this was like, 2,000, 2,500 years ago. I don't know how long ago that was.
Roman soldiers, they're just like us.
Right? Yeah. And just, exactly.
The thing is, as much as we wax poetic about how much more intelligent people were in olden times and whatnot, those are just the people that we read about because they were able to write things down.
Right.
There were just as many idiots then as there are now.
Right.
Probably more so back then.
Right.
But history is written by the winners and by the intelligent people,
Right.
and
well, see, that's what's interesting, too, is because it's kind of, like, that is absolutely true, but then kind of the opposite is also true, whereas, like, we in the Western world regard like the Renaissance as like the discovery of the scientific method. However, like the craftsmen for 2,000 years prior had been basically using the scientific method for things.
Correct.
It's not like it was this new thing, but it was just because some of these like wealthier, educated people could pen it down.
That's a good idea.
Right. Hey, scientific method. Thanks.
Yeah.
Aristotle. Or I don't know, but
I shall call it a theorem.
So it's kind of funny, like always, like I always say the only difference between people nowadays is just like their size, like because otherwise before it's like they're just the same.
Yeah,
they're just the same. They just didn't have computers to sit in front of. Probably.
Yeah. There's a couple different aspects of it that's always funny. There's a stand-up comedian, I don't remember who did it, but he talks about what if Twitter were around like back in the Civil War, and or email or any kind of electronic communication. Because back in the Civil War, you had these soldiers on the front lines of the battlefield writing back to their sweethearts and my dearest Jessica, and
I do declare,
I do declare, but a fortnight has passed since I have last gazed eyes upon your beautiful face.
General Lee considers that the war could be over.
Yeah, and then. He compared it to like modern times, and you're really hot, and just idiotic writing that's out there.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was like, who was the one guy? Jules Joyce or whatever. Jules Joyce. The poet. What else did he write though? Anyways. They went back through and looked at a bunch of his letters that he had written to his wife, and I think this was at like the turn of the century, maybe earlier. But anyways, he wrote like the raunchiest, dirtiest like poems to his wife. Like,
go and read a lot of the Shakespeare sonnets if you want to talk dirty.
Oh, it's just wild to think though, like because people are like people were so civilized back then, and he's like literally talking about. He's having fun with the word rumpus.
Yeah.
And he also talks about how disgusting the smell is. Yeah. But he likes it.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's people in the ancient history. There's people in history.
When did we go blue? Skull asked, now does the ancient Roman beer meet German purity laws?
Probably not.
Probably not. Basically, and we got way off topic on this one. Basically, what they found was these ditches that they were digging.
Yeah.
They would put the barley in and let it sit there and germinate. And then they would dry it out in the sun and smoke it.
It was, by the way, it was soaked out there until it sprouted.
Yes.
Which is gross.
Yeah. And it was soaked with whatever was available.
Right.
Whether that was water or whether that was manure or whether that was whatever could make the sprouts or the barley sprout is what they used, and then they would dry it in the sun and then smoke it under a fire, and then they used some malting processes and combined this into a beer. And yeah, it smelled like a billy goat, but got the job done.
The beer would have been dark, smoky, and a little sour.
Yep.
I would be interested in trying this.
I would be interested in trying it as well. Although we're not going to be able to recreate... We may be able to recreate the ingredients and the process, but we're not going to be able to recreate the flavor. Because we've talked about this before, that the water in your local area and where it goes through and what it collects and what minerals are in it greatly determine what the beer will taste like.
Not only that, but then if you're talking about the difference in water, you're also talking about the difference in the grain itself, like where it's grown and all that type of stuff. Plus, like, what is in our ditches versus theirs.
Right. Oh, totally. In Oregon, it's clay. You dig 6 inches down, you will hit clay. And that's it.
Roman Emperor Julian, by the way.
Julian said it smelled like a billy goat. All right. Let's go ahead and skip the glass bottling program. We'll get back to that if we make it there. Let's go to Microsoft unexpectedly drops support for Windows 7 CPUs. For ancient CPUs in Windows 7.
Right. Is this really a shock, though?
It's not really a shock. But and with all the security breaches that have come out in regards to Spectre and Meltdown, and now the hyperthreading bug that's out there, which we'll get to later in the show. relation to all that, basically they said which CPUs were decommissioned. I'm looking for the list. I know it had a list somewhere.
Well, it's a good question.
Where did I see that at? Gosh darn it. Anyway, I believe it was SSE2 or SSE3 instruction was required. It was probably SSE3.
Oh.
But basically, if your chip didn't support that, then you can't be on Windows 7. So we are talking about like Pentium 3 era CPUs,
right.
like late Pentium 3, early Pentium 4, maybe Prescott cores. So going to like 2003, 2004 are no longer supported in Windows 7, which I'd like to see a Pentium 4 Prescott try to run Windows 7 with all the patches and all the updates on a single processing core.
Right.
At 2.4 gigahertz. Be interesting to find out if it could.
Yeah, right?
There's a video. How far have we gone from yeah. Anyway, yeah. Windows 7 support for early 2000 CPUs is no longer a thing.
Yeah. Well,
just a couple of months before Windows 7 is completely phased out entirely.
Whoever wrote this article made a really good point that you should be charging admission to your computer museum if you're one of these people affected by this. So, there you go.
I do have a collection of old CPUs. I have a fairly extensive collection of old CPUs.
Well, where's your computer museum?
I should open one.
What you got to do is walk around with like a 3D camera, have it just displayed. That way people could just like VR in, and then they can have your like virtual reality computer museum. I should
do a 3D camera view of my studio one day, so you can stand in my studio in VR.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
That's what we should do. We ought to start putting in like a camera over here. That way, if people want to be like the third host, they can just like they can join in and be like, "Woo, we're seeing
Steve,
everything."
How are you today?" Get it on a little servo arm.
And then if you have people doing super comments or whatever they're called, they can have it like voice to text or text to voice or whatever. Yeah. It's like, Rhett is so stupid. Beep boop boop.
I usually see that once the camera's off anyway. So
well, fair enough.
We're not missing.
You don't
anything.
Even wait till I leave. That's the worst part.
It's very true. It's very true. All right. This one broke last Thursday. And this is very interesting because there were a lot of people that thought this was another Fortnite versus PUBG style battle.
Yeah.
Oh, they copied the game mechanics and how dare they? Yeah. This goes way deeper than what the surface of a lot of the articles touched on.
I was reading this and it seems like they have a pretty good...
They've got a really good case.
Yeah.
And I don't believe Bethesda would be suing if they didn't. Now, that being said, it did sue Oculus because of John Carmack's involvement with their VR project versus Oculus's VR project. And
yeah, they have been a little sue happy in the past.
They have.
Like some embarrassing ones, too.
Yeah,
but...
and that one didn't end well for them.
No.
Like, they won one out of like the 9 claims that they had on that suit. But anyway, Bethesda has officially sued Warner Brothers and calls Westworld a blatant ripoff, quote unquote, of Fallout Shelter mobile game. Now, people who probably read the headline and then dove into their comment threads went, "Oh, they're just suing because it's a similar game. It's a world building game, or it's a sim style game where
right.
you it's kind of like Sim Tower or Prison Architect or so. There's other similar
these type of management
games
yeah.
And remember, you cannot copyright or trademark a game mechanic. That is an unprotectable asset. You can protect the asset itself, but you can't protect the fact that I use a frying pan.
Right.
For example.
Right.
As has been a famous one as of late.
Yeah. Our game uses a frying pan.
It's a shallow pot with a long handle on it. Yeah.
So what's interesting about this is this article includes a copy of the complaint, which is kind of neat if you want to scroll through that. Okay, we're going to do a line-by-line reading of this now.
No.
No.
Section A, Article 1, Paragraph 1.
That would be funny, but sadly, I don't think I can muster up the energy for that one. But
there's episode 1 for tote computing.
Oh my god, that would be kind of perfect, though, wouldn't it? But Bethesda, I guess they got a glimpse at it, and what is I think the nail in the coffin is that it seems that they have their exact code complete with errors that were just must have been commented out or something like that, or
because here's the rub of all this. Fallout Shelter was co-developed by Behavior Interactive. It was the studio contracted by Bethesda to make Fallout Shelter. So Bethesda said, here's our Fallout assets, design them for a mobile game, rework the art, and write the code. And then we'll publish it under our name.
And then that
happens all the time.
Right.
That they just subcontract to another studio to give a mobile studio some work. The problem is, Behavior Interactive then signed a contract with HBO and Warner Brothers to create a Westworld game. Now, Behavior Interactive reused assets and code and core fundamentals to the game, to the core of the game. It's not like the same engine. It's the same code. It's the same if-then statements. It's the same action interaction as Fallout Shelter is. And that's where you cross into some very legal gray or potentially black areas where you cannot steal code. And if you're contracted by a company to create code for them, that code is typically owned by the company that contracted you.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to Behavior Interactive. It doesn't belong to them as a studio. They wrote the code for Fallout, and that Fallout code, it belongs to Fallout. And if they reused some of that code in Westworld, that's a smoking gun. And from reading a little bit, just kind of skimming through the complaint, that's exactly what happened. Is Behavior Interactive reused some of this code and this asset and this, the interaction within the code.
Right.
They just put different skins on top of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't want to be Behavior Interactive right now. I will say that.
Well, and how lazy is that too? Like that you took the code, but you couldn't even be bothered to remove the stuff that would get you caught.
Right.
Like you must have clearly not had any idea what you were doing.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it's the same guns, just with a different name and a different sprite, but it's the exact same. Exact same stats on the weapon, and the exact same wear time, and the exact same damage, and the same type of characters can carry it, and so you didn't alter any mechanics of the game. And mechanics is a bad word. You didn't alter any of the fundamental code within the game for how the objects interact with
the properties. You didn't change any of the properties of this virtual item. Yeah, and it's just funny to me too, because the bugs are apparently what got them caught. Right. Because the same exact bugs that they later fixed in Fallout Shelter
are cropping up in Westworld.
Which is come on.
Come on, you already patched this.
Right. It makes me wonder, because I don't know anything about Behavior Interactive. I've never played Fallout Shelter, even though I'm a huge fan. Yeah. He has it right here. Bethesda Coder 1. Hey, they stole my code. Bethesda Coder 2. How do you know? Bethesda Coder 1. It's complete shit.
Yeah. That's awesome. And that's pretty much it. Was Fallout Shelter, when it came out, was a standard Bethesda game. It was full of bugs,
right?
Full of breaks, full of world-breaking bugs, and they eventually coded them out because it is a simpler game as far as the mechanics go. But when those same bugs crop up 6 months later in someone else's mobile game developed by the same sub-studio.
Right. Makes me wonder too, who do they have at Behavior Interactive that's how many people is their studio? Is it just one guy who worked on the Bethesda project and was I'm going to use this for some of my own projects, private projects, and never get caught. But then what, you forget? Or
right.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see where this one goes, because I'm interested in the details.
I've been in that 3 a.m. drunk programmer state where you go, who wrote all this code? That's amazing. And if I copy this from here to here, it's going to work. And it's no, you just stole source code from another company.
Right.
You can't do that. Oh, I was wondering why it was so good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Someone wanted to see Threadripper leaks. Let's get to some Threadripper leaks.
Let's do it and let the English say it do it.
That's right. Is this where I turn around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. It's that time, folks. Some men are longer than others.
It's my island. Such a good movie.
You know what's funny is at first when you were talking about that, I was like, did he get it? And then when you started, I was like, okay, he got it.
Yeah.
Most people, that goes right over their head.
No, it's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, it's so good,
So
right?
good. So good.
Everything about it is just so well done.
Yep. All right, so 32-core Threadripper. We know it was coming. It was announced that AMD will have a 32-core Threadripper released sometime in Q3. We know it's a real product that doesn't require phase change liquid cooling to keep it cool, because they actually had a working demo that was rendering their own scene, so you couldn't cross compare it to another scene.
Right.
But you could see all 64 threads working on one item. But what we didn't know, and what was leaked a couple of weeks ago, I think I talked about this, was the base and the turbo clock, or the boost clock for the 32-core Threadripper. The base clock is expected to be 3.0 gigahertz, and the boost clock through XFR is expected to be 3.4. That sounded pretty reasonable to me, and with some overclocking and temperature headroom, like if you get a really good board with really good VRMs and this has Zen Plus architecture in it, you could probably pretty easily hit 4 gigahertz on all 32 cores, which is freaking insane.
That's ridiculous.
Do you remember a year ago when we were... Episode 1, we talked about Threadripper being announced.
Right? I know. I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
When I saw this on the list, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's happening again. Great...
Episode 1 of Talking Heads, Rhett and I talked about the implications of a 16-core consumer-level Threadripper.
Back in the original studio.
Back in the original studio with the gray 50/50 wall behind me, and I think I'm going to repaint my walls that gray color, because I like that color, and it actually will work better with the RGB, because gray walls on camera will actually absorb any color you give them.
Oh, nice.
And so my new addressable strip that I have here, I'll be able to shoot color up the wall, and the whole wall will absorb it. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm toying with repainting the studio, although I have to rip my desk off the wall to do it, which is why it hasn't been done yet.
Big things happening at Craft Computing Studios.
That's right. That's right. Lots of big stuff going on. I'm kind of a big deal.
I mean, he's Jeff.
Kind of a big deal. I am Jeff, as always. I'm Jeff. I have a Craft Computing Reddit account, and I jump on there every once in a while. I'm sub to a bunch of different tech subs, and I'll just try to comment in one or two a day. More just to be present. Just let people know I'm there. Maybe give it advice to someone and go, "Oh my God, you're Craft Computing." I'm not seeking the attention. I'm just answering a question. That's what I'm trying to do. But what's really funny is the first 5 or 6 that I answered, I got, "Oh my God, are you the Craft Computing?" oh my God. Oh, and it's like, yeah, I have like 900 karma on Reddit. It's like, I'm not really a big deal over there. I'm not a big deal on YouTube either. At least in my brain, I don't think I am.
Nonsense. You were featured on the front page.
I was a creator on the Rise, which is given to only 4 YouTubers per week in the US.
See? Enough with the
I'm trying
modesty.
To be humble here. I'm trying to keep it under wraps.
I mean, you're about to paint your studio gray, all right?
That's right.
How many...
It's a big step.
Right. How many YouTubers are going to do that?
Big step. Well, I did completely rip off my desks from Paul's Hardware. It's the exact same desks. It's the exact same design.
Well, he shouldn't have done such a good job.
And to quote Jay's 2 cents, I totally ripped off Paul's Hardware. I needed a desk. It worked. It worked for the space that I had. I knew from the beginning I was doing a live show.
This is one of my favorite desks, too. It's
I
just
love
so
this desk.
functional.
It is so nice to be able to spin from one station to the other. It's so efficient to work on. Just to slide from one spot to the other and not get in your own way. Oh, man.
You did it. You repainted the office for us. We don't even have anything to do.
I feel like I've been assimilated by Unity.
I do kind of feel that way, too.
Yeah. I'm just missing the little...
I'm going to need a stadium filled with...
Wait, what shape are your nipples?
And they all have to bear a striking resemblance to my father. You can do it, son!
Go, Dad!
Go, Dad! Or yeah, that. Go, son, go. That's what it is. Go, son, go! Go, son, go! Oh my god. I'm the worst at quoting Rick and Morty.
Sorry, Discord chat. Anyway, so back to...
Hey, if you want to be a part of that, by the way, Patreon, just $1 a month, get you access to this Discord chat.
That's
We're
right.
having so much fun in fact, we're done with you guys. We're only hanging out with Discord now.
Well, it's because I can only have one chat window open at the same time. Revenero, check out Modern Times. Modern Times is freaking delicious. Seriously,
the brewing?
Modern Times beer, Modern Times brewing.
I got some Modern Times in my fridge at home.
Yes.
An amber ale called Blazing something. Can't remember what.
So yeah, Heavy Palms, which I feel weird saying your name out loud, but Heavy Palms, Modern Times brewing, amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I was talking.
Green Flash.
I was talking to you on. You commented on one of my videos, Heavy Palms, because I said I need to make it down to Stone one of these days.
Wasn't Green Flash the one that was doing? Weren't they looking at doing a weed beer?
No.
No?
I
Okay,
think it
never
was
mind.
Green Flash is no more.
Oh, right, because they were bought by somebody.
Yeah, they were.
We talked about this on.
They were liquidated. Yep.
Okay, I'm stupid. Enough with my stupidness.
I had to. I thought they were, but yeah. So yeah, I think the brewery in San Diego is still open, but it might have switched hands or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's sooner or later, Jeff. People are going to find out that you just pay me to come on and make you look like a genius.
Let's see. Paint the Walls Rainbow at 300,000 subs. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I can do that. I can do that for a week. At 300,000 subs, I've quit my job and I've got a week where I can just paint the walls whatever the hell color I want and then repaint them the next week. So tell you what, you guys get me 300,000 subs, I'll leave my walls rainbow, like rainbow striped, like 6-inch stripes for like a month.
Yeah, Freyfish, you get us 300,000 subs and we'll just paint your name right on the back too. It doesn't even matter.
Write it down. I'll have a mural artist come and graffiti it on my wall up here.
There you go.
Yep.
You heard it here.
That's right. You remind me, I'll do it. At 300,000 subs. You remind me.
It's on you, Freyfish.
It's on you, Freyfish. All right. Oh God. I'm confused.
You know what's really funny? When I got here, I was gonna sit on your side just to see what you would say,
Just to screw with me. 32 core Threadripper. So the reason we know that 3 gigahertz base and 3.4 boost is probably a thing now is Threadripper 32 core, or the 2990X as it's known, was spotted on 3D Mark benchmarks.
Nice.
And did they give the numbers? I don't know if they did. They didn't have the numbers here. But base core of 3 gigahertz. And maximum turbo of 3.8. So actually not too shabby there.
That's legit.
So
these guys are crushing the competition.
Yep. Let's see. I've got a couple more. Oh, that's right. And we have pricing news. And this was leaked by a German website. And the reason I think this is probably legit is because this is probably a placeholder for when it's released. Scroll up just a hair. Right there.
So sorry.
Right.
I forget that I'm in charge sometimes.
Yeah, so you were
made
just
a
reading down the page.
Huge mistake. Yeah, I was like, I need to know more.
That's right. So if you want to scroll down, I can scroll down. I'll go ahead and translate it for you since I have Google Translate up. So TR4 socket, 3.8 gigahertz, 12 nanometer. So max XFR 3.8, which is what we saw in 3D Mark. So that is probably accurate.
Legit.
16 megabytes of L3 cache. Max power consumption of 180 watts, which is not accurate. It's actually 250 watt TDP, but that is correct down in the description a little bit lower. Not in the boilerplate up here, but down here.
Great job, Cyberport.
That's right.
You did it.
Yes, cyberport.de is the one who leaked this page. 16 core, and they still have some of the old marks up here, but it's some of the new information, where it's 250 watt TDP instead of 180. So this is more than just a placeholder. This has been updated with more modern information.
Right.
And the other thing that makes me think this is probably legitimate is the 1509 euro price. If this said 1500 flat, I wouldn't have believed it. Because it's a specific number.
Right.
And it's a number that I thought they were going to flirt with. I thought they were going to be competitive with Intel's 18 core, which is $1,800.
Right.
And I thought they were going to undercut that slightly. This translates to about $1750 in USD.
Oh, wow.
So they're undercutting.
They're doing it.
They're undercutting Intel by about $50 USD.
Well, Intel's on fire right now, so...
Literally. They had to use a phase change to keep it cool. But this is everything that I thought was going to be coming from AMD. This is accurate. If I have to go out on a limb and say this is accurate, I think this is accurate. I think €1509 is what it's going to be. I think it's going to be probably $16.99 USD, maybe even $15.99 USD. I think they're going to undercut Intel, and I think it's going to be by $100 or $200. Yeah, 32 core versus 18. Take your pick.
Right?
Yep.
It's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. So, I will be getting my hands on one of these chips. I don't care how. I don't care why.
AMD.
Seriously.
We got your back. I mean, AMD. See, here's the thing. One of my side jobs, I gotta go out and sometimes and like hang advertising and like build displays at stores. AMD right now is blitzing the market with tons of advertisements that are basically like, "Oh, remember when Intel was top dog? Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Never again."
Yep.
Remember? Yeah, it was like back in the Intel had all the brand recognition.
Remember last March when Intel was top dog?
Right. They got all the brand recognition back in the day, but not anymore.
Nope. No, it was you bought AMD if you wanted to go cheap, and AMD would have one-hit wonders with their Athlon 64 and their Athlon X2 and their original Athlon XP. Basically, every other Athlon was amazing, and then they would fail. And then, oh, don't worry, Bulldozer's going to bring it around. And Bulldozer was like, it's okay, it's not great.
Right.
And then Intel just went, we'll just kick out our next chip and kick the living crap out of you. Cool, done. And then Intel kind of flatlined. And they've been flatlined for 5 years.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Don't flatline if you
flatline.
Own a multi-billion-dollar international company.
Yep. Just wait 6 to 9 months after release. It's going to be on sale for like $11.99. Very well could be. My 1900X was originally $599. It's down to $425 on Amazon right now.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. And I paid $450 for it, and I got a really good deal because I bought it in November.
Right.
I bought it like a month and a half after it was released. So yeah, I got a good deal on it because Amazon ran like a 3-day special, and I went up to Fry's and they had it in stock, and I went, cool, match Amazon, done.
Right.
And I walked out with it.
Legit.
So, yeah, Epic's 7401 is $1,700 at 24 core 48 thread. Yeah, but 7401 isn't Zen Plus. And it's also aimed at enterprise, which means it is going to be more expensive. It's a better binned chip. It's just, that's the way things go. You're never going to see the same pricing enterprise versus consumer, or even high-end desktop.
Right.
Those prices are never going to match. Because you're getting better support, you're getting better warranty. Sometimes you're getting better features. And in the case of Epic, I believe it's 128 PCIe lanes, if I recall correctly. Might still be 64. I don't remember the exact specs of Epic at the moment. But anyway, speaking of, you should give away 1950X after you swap in for that. It's only a 1900X. It's not the 1950X. And I think I'm going to keep the 1900X.
Yeah. Nice try, Aaron.
Yeah. I will do giveaways on this channel eventually. In fact, I've got a couple that are kind of in my head right now that I might be doing. But I will be getting into doing giveaways. But like all the other tech channels have probably answered in the past, we need this hardware to operate our business. One of my most popular videos is my average Steam user's PC.
Right. Instead
of having to go buy $700 in hardware to build the average gamer's PC, wouldn't it be nice if I can just go to my shelf and do content off my shelf? Because I'm not made of money. I'm still in the red for building this channel. I have not made money on this channel yet.
Ooh.
But Aiden speaks. $2.
Testing his debit card.
Your debit card cleared, or at least I think it did. Yep.
I'm gonna have to get into another one of these soon.
Ratchet Brewing.
How's it tasting down at the bottom of the glass?
It's even better.
Yeah? Gotta admire him.
I gotta say, it actually even lightens up on the roasty notes a bit as it warms up. Like, most of the time, the smokiness gets a little bit more intense.
Right.
This actually gets a little bit lighter. A little, even lighter bodied than it was. And it's just a smooth... What flavor is that? Because it's not a caramel flavor like you get with a lot of stouts. It's... Gosh, I'm drawing a blank for what that flavor is.
Well, I'm distracted because Aaron donated another
Aiden,
$5.
$5. How about now? I can't believe my bank...
Well, should we tap into the shake and bake, or do you want to open up a Rogue? Or
Oh, you got shake. Oh, you got the shake and bake too.
yeah.
Ooh. I thought you only brought one.
No,
Nice.
not at all. I was gonna fill a growler up, and Dan was like, "Well, okay, like if you want to do 2 separate beers, I'll give you a 4-pack."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, let's do that."
Aiden, I think it's broken. It just keeps ringing up, man.
I think I should call my bank. Well,
That's right.
in that case,
I'd let it go till morning. I think you'll be okay. Just let it go till morning, man. Let me get some new glasses.
oh, what a good idea.
Yeah. Pour that in a stout glass.
I'm so sorry. I'm such a barbarian.
That's right. I have standards here, man.
Silly me. I'm used to people who don't have any.
You want Blazers or Sandy Am?
I want Blazers.
Done.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Sandy Am Brewing, but
Yeah, Ratchet Brewing around the corner from Sandy Am.
literally,
Like missed the driveway for Ratchet and you're in Sandy Am's parking lot.
yeah. In fact, when I was trying to find Ratchet for the first time, you know, all I knew about it was that it was near Sandy
It was
Am.
near Sandy Am.
So I was like, oh, and I was thinking of like the old Saw,
and it's like 4 blocks from Saw.
right.
And it's
And everybody was like, it's in the old Saw place. And I was like, oh, okay, I know right where that is.
Okay, let me try the 0 thing. I added a 0. Excellent.
You did at that,
Your 0 key works. Does the 2 work?
Aiden, you're the man. Tonight we're going to be drinking solely to your health, so you can come back next week and the week after that.
I'm kidding, Aiden. I appreciate all your donations. You're amazing.
You're the man.
You're the man.
Or
I'm just waiting for Vlad to chime in with an inappropriate Vegas hooker reference.
So this is by the way, a pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
It's
This is their standard
and bake.
IPA, or pale ale rather. Shake and bake pale.
shake and bake.
And I helped. I was waiting for you to set it up.
I love that movie.
Waiting for you to set it up.
It's like an underrated gem. Everybody hates it, but it's...
And in Discord now I have a money shirt.
Hey, Tony. Welcome
What's up,
to the party,
Tony?
my man.
That dude got me worried. Have to check my card. Tony, your card cleared as well. I think you're in the clear, my friend.
Absolutely.
Although you're $5 short for rent now, buddy.
You can come live here. Just kidding. Don't do that. I don't know why I said that. Tony, you're on your own.
I opened up a studio. I no longer have room for a spare bed. Sorry, Tony, you're sleeping on the workbench.
Yeah.
Which at the moment doesn't have anything cool on it.
No.
It has... Well, I guess underneath it, I've got my Homecraft beer on tap set. So
well, you do got Star Wars Rogue One on there.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty cool in of itself.
That is true.
It's the best Star Wars movie.
I think Last Jedi's on there too, so that equals out.
Well, I like The Last Jedi.
I liked it too, but I'm reserving judgment. Hayden, think you'll be okay? Just throw money at Crafty. That's right. Throw money at Crafty. I can get on board with that. You guys are amazing. Tony, Aiden, I appreciate it. I appreciate you helping me keep my lights on.
I hope you guys aren't just letting us drink alone. That's what I'm hoping. Because we're toasting to your health.
What are you guys drinking tonight?
Chime in.
That's what I want to know. What are you guys drinking tonight?
Only if it's cool. If you're drinking something stupid, keep it to yourself.
$5 rent for the workbench. Might have to move. It's $5, but that's for the workbench that's outside. Now you can sleep under the workbench. For the one in here, it's like $130.
Yeah,
so
at least.
It's a much better neighborhood.
And that's just at night.
Yeah.
After business hours.
You ever scroll through Craigslist and look for like the worst want ads that are in there?
Absolutely.
It's a blast.
All the time. I love Craigslist.
Also, there's a Reddit delusional Craigslist. Oh yeah, you got to get on that sub. It is gold all the way through. And it's anything. It's housing, artwork, photography, where people are like going, I'll do like photography in your home, and it's like half sideways iPhone pictures where like it's just like a silhouette and like blown out backgrounds.
Yes. Do you ever listen to podcasts? Like, do you listen to Kevin Smith?
I do know Kevin Smith, yeah.
Okay, so he has a podcast.
Of course, I know Silent Bob.
Thank you.
Give me a.
By the way, I saw him live.
Did you?
At the Elsinore?
Really?
It was Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. It was so funny.
I am so jealous you went to that show.
It was amazing. I was laughing my butt off the whole time. Anyways, so yeah, Kev Smith, of course, he has Smodcast, and in it, episode 220 or something, right around
Sorry,
there.
10 seconds. I want to get to this. Blue Moon water, fine aged sparkling water with a label on it.
Coke.
Coke.
Pirate Stout.
Coke or water don't get paid till Friday.
Wait, where's Skull from?
Skull did a beer exchange with John.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. I was like, how is he drinking?
How is he drinking local stuff?
I thought he was from.
He's got a 3-way
farther
IPA
away.
and a pirate stout from Sandy Ann.
Nice.
Yeah, breaking out the good stuff.
Good for you. Pirate Stout is probably one of my favorite stouts.
It is one of my favorites.
So dang good.
Yeah.
Cheap whiskey from Osgeld. Water from J. Fur. Yeah.
Peppermint
it's water.
tea made by Twinnings of London. I know that peppermint tea. My wife drinks that all the time, and I have that from time to time as well.
Yeah, Twinings makes great tea.
So bills and coins.
That last donation got flagged by your bank, huh? Wow. Well, they think it's fraud. If you keep it coming, then they'll know it's not. Ooh, somebody's drinking some Lil something.
Well, you were making it rain on YouTube, buddy. I mean, mine gets flagged for that sometimes. It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Absolutely. Reverend is drinking some Lil something, which is one of my favorites.
Lagunitas Lil something.
J.K. Slayer's drinking Canadian whiskey, keeping it in Canada. Good for you.
Right.
Buy Canadian whiskey right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Don't remember what it was called. Finish the bottle though. Those are the best nights.
Absolutely. Blue Moon from Baldwin.
Osgeld, what cheap whiskey are you drinking? That's the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What cheap whiskey? Because some cheap whiskey is actually pretty darn good.
Like, was it a bottle you got as a gift?
Yeah. My house whiskey that I keep here comes in a plastic bottle.
Nice.
Yep.
See, my go-to, and I say it all the time, it's Seagram's 7 Crown. And it's because it's cheap.
That's what's in there.
It's good.
Yep.
It's a little strong. Like when, after St. Patty's Day, I came off the Jameson binge and went back to 7 Crown. I was like, oh, yeah.
That's right.
Burns a little bit more.
Got a little bit of a bite to it, but not quite as smooth.
Still dang good. And for here in Oregon, only $12 for a fifth. Or Jeff over here got a half gallon for like $15.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, you're paying $12 for a fifth. I paid $15 for 2.5 times that amount.
Yeah. So, whatever. Shame on me.
Evan Williams Black. I do like the Evan Williams Black. That is actually one of my more preferred cheap whiskeys. So
yeah, absolutely. I love tasting.
Don't go with the bottles and bond. Spend $1 more and get the Jameson or get the Evan Williams Black. Way better. Dogfish Head Namaste.
Good for you.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Real quick, wanted to say about Kevin Smith. Anyway,
yeah,
his podcast. He made the movie Tusk.
Now that we're caught up on drinks,
right? His movie Tusk that came out. That is like a lot of people hate it because it's really campy. It's about a man turning a man into a walrus. It came from essentially like a fake, not Craigslist, but I think in the UK they have one called like Gumtree or something like that, or Gumtree.
And Australian Craigslist.
Australian, thank you.
Yep.
And it was like a fake ad about like, I'm looking for somebody to come live with me for free. Of course, the only payment required would be that,
Your Australian accent is terrible.
Okay. G'day, mate. I'm looking for somebody to live with me, mate.
That's better.
And, the only requirement living with me is that you have to get yourself into a walrus suit that I made myself. And for 2 hours,
Seems reasonable.
you have to be a walrus. No talking or emoting like a human being. You must communicate like a walrus, and only like a walrus, or your living situation will be rescinded. That's all I have for Australian accent. But anyway,
Not bad at all.
thank you. Yeah, I tried. Once I got going into it, I was like, okay.
I know a couple Australian YouTubers who were probably greatly offended by that.
Absolutely, that was
although there's
horribly
one,
offensive.
there's one who would probably laugh his head off. Brian from Tech Yes City. He does the what accent is that? The Bogan accent. Yeah, mate. I can't do accents. It's one thing I can't do.
Oh, I'm so bad at it. Scumtree.
Yep.
It's nicknamed Scumtrees. It's full. It's g'day, mate. It's full of dodgy sellers. You know what I'm talking about, mate? Dodgy sellers over there on the Scumtree. Anyway, there go all of our Australian viewers.
Dodgy.
Right. Dodgy. G'day, mate. They've got dodgy seller. Dodgy. I'm bad. Oh.
Ever heard of Cold Fusion, the YouTuber? I actually haven't heard of him.
Send us a link, Aiden.
Yeah.
You're the man of the hour,
drop
so
a link.
you can send us links. Only if there's... No, I'm kidding. Just joking.
But you gotta pay.
I wonder if we should get back on track here.
Let's get back on
While
track.
We're waiting for that link.
You know, we're only an hour in. We're not doing too bad. It's only 9:03.
Doing it.
We're right on track.
We're doing it.
That's why you tune into the show. Like 5 minutes of tech news and 10 minutes of us bullshitting. That's what it is anymore. And I like it that way.
You guys keep coming back, so we must be doing something right.
It's a looser show.
Yeah.
And if you guys like it too, let me know. I will say my average viewership numbers have been up. In fact, there's 58 people watching now on YouTube. So, yeah, we're moving right along.
All right. Let me Discord it.
Discord it.
What, is he in the Discord?
I believe he is.
What's your... Is he Aiden?
Now he is.
Hey! Hitmanger!
Aiden, welcome to the party, my friend.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have totally doxed your Discord name. Sorry, bro.
Now he's going to get all the ladies hitting on him.
Oh.
Mr. Moneybags over there, Aiden.
Look at him. You should have kept your wallet secret, my friend.
Dropping them fat stacks of ones.
We know where you were.
That's right.
Make it rain.
All right. So I alluded to AMD's amazing press run this last week or so.
Yep.
And there are two stories in particular. One of which they started last week and we talked about last week was Intel made a little bit of press after their debauchery that was Computex with their 28-core kind of CPU. That only requires a dedicated 30-amp circuit to run. I'm not kidding. They popped the breaker in the hotel. That's why they canceled their demos.
Oh, no.
I'm not kidding. No. I'm not kidding. I have that from sources that they were able to run it on stage through the use of a pretty heavy amp breaker. And then they got to the hotel room and they popped the breaker because they didn't have two dedicated circuits to run it in their hotel room. So yeah, Intel couldn't run it because they didn't have enough power in the hotel.
Oh my god.
Anyway, neither here nor there. AMD officially... Intel made a little bit of headway with the release of the i7-8086K, which is the 40th anniversary of the 8086 processor. Based on an i7-8700K, a little bit better binning, and they were going to give away 8,086 of them. And you had 24 hours on Intel.com to sign up to win. I didn't win one of them, unfortunately. I was really hopeful, being as I'm a big-name YouTuber. I was hoping to at least get a press kit. Intel, you're 40 minutes away. Call me? Anyway, not after they hear what I'm saying right now.
You're closer if you want to take the top off. We can go right now.
That's right. It was raining earlier, though.
It was. When I got in my car to get here, I was like, the hell is this?
Yeah. So last Wednesday we had thunderstorms. They're expecting thunderstorms later tonight.
There was even thunder last night, I think.
Yeah, there was.
Like, I was listening, unless somebody's just lighting off fireworks. I guess it is that kind of time of year, but...
Well, you live in the sketchy part of Salem now. So.
Well, yeah, you know, can't even drink the water.
Nope.
Can't trust it.
Not for a month now. Anyway, so they were going to give away 8,086 of their 8086K processors, and AMD very cheekily said, hey, the first 40 people who tweet at us and say, hey, I want an 8086 and I'd rather have a 1950X 16-core Threadripper, tell you what, if you didn't open the box, you can have one. We'll swap it for you.
Isn't that just brutal? That is so brutal. I read this and I was like,
that's cute. You have 6 cores? Here's 16. There you go. First 40 people. Just email us and here you go.
That's legit.
Yeah. And the story today is they opened up the exchange program. So the first 40 people to email them and meet a set of requirements where you have to be in the U.S. and you have to have an unopened 8086K and a winning email from Intel. This was only for winners of the 8086K, not people who drove down to Micro Center and bought one and said, I'd like a Threadripper, please. Mm-hmm. That's not how this works. But yeah, the first 40 people who are verified winners of the Intel contest who say, I would rather have a Threadripper, will get a 1950X.
Maybe they should have done 40 for anyone who won, and then 40 for...
people who want to trade in.
People like you that could then talk about it on your show.
So. Well, I am going to be emailing them and seeing if I can get a press kit for the 2990X. Heck, even if I can get a second gen 16 core, I'll jump on it.
God, that'd be legit.
Yeah.
Here's to hoping.
Yep. So my motherboard is not the... It's a middle of the road as far as the X399 VR and power delivery. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to overclock a 2990X to its fullest extent.
Right.
But it is a 13-phase power delivery. It's kind of got a heatsink on it, so I will need to do some kind of active cooling on it.
Right.
Man, if they made a monoblock for my the MSI Pro Carbon X399, which is what I have, I would totally be down. So EK, XSPC, Thermaltake, whoever. If you want to make a monoblock for this, I will totally put one in there. I'll buy it. I don't care. I don't even care if it's a review sample. I will buy it. So not only that, go to the next tab, because the next tab is gold.
Oh, boy.
Did you see this?
No, I was looking at it up here, but I didn't look at this yet.
So AMD set up at an event, and I don't remember which event this was, but it's one of the press events that's happening recently, where they're pushing AMD in the enterprise, pushing AMD in the data center, so they're EPYC processors. AMD has a line up on their board right now that says Xeon was great, but so was coal. So combining with the trolling the heck out of Intel on Twitter, with the, hey, we'll give away our 1950X instead if you want to trade in for a much better processor.
I love it. I love it.
They're going hard at the data center, and they're trying to get EPYC established. And I've talked about this on the show before, where first generation EPYC was a show me product. Show me that it's going to work, that we're going to get the performance and the efficiency out of it that you say. And we will buy it in the second generation. That's how data centers work. You have to prove your first version of the product before they will implement it in mass. Because they're not going to invest $1 million in a data center if they have to reinvest $1 million the next year because your product was crap.
Yep.
There has to be a return on the investment. And AMD proved it in their first cycle of EPYC. And now that they're coming out with 7 nanometer EPYC in Q3, there's going to be major companies that are starting to switch to EPYC in their data centers.
That's legit.
So
I'm happy
coming
for them.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I'm happy that there's competition.
Right.
Because there has been no competition for
a long time.
Almost a decade.
Which is what's funny is that was like really the focus of our conversation in that first
There's
episode.
Vlad. I knew he'd show up. Vlad, $5 donation. Pro tip, make sure if you're hosting or doing an in-call, you don't have any identify material in the hotel room. Leave your ID in the car, boys. That's the way to do it.
There you go.
Yep.
The real pro tips are in the comments.
Cuffs are being thrown on. What's your name, son? My name's Rhett.
How dare you?
Rhett's got a rap sheet as long as my arm in Las Vegas.
It's true. That's why I don't go to Vegas that much anymore.
And only half of those were me.
Well, I knew it. When they had my description wrong, I knew it was you. Mm-hmm. All the info is so confusing, though.
Yep. Well, yeah, he had his hair just so.
It's true. They said he wore a shirt that made him look like a lollipop.
Yeah.
Had the goatee, so it's a little confusing there.
Oh crap! I did it the wrong way. Hold on.
Yeah, you gotta start.
I go left. I don't go right. You're a little weird, man. There we go.
I tried parting my hair the opposite way one time, and I was like, "This is stupid. No one's gonna recognize me."
And if my wife didn't make me shave it to this point, I would have. Yeah, it would be a little bit longer than it is.
Yeah, I gotta shave mine, but see, I moved 2 months ago, and I lost the charger to my trimmer, and so there's like a little bit of battery
my
life.
excuse too. I have totally used that. Sorry, my trimmer's dead, baby.
It's not an excuse.
I don't know what happened to it.
Every time I turn it on, I've got about 2 minutes before you can start hearing it. Yeah. And then I turn it off.
It's your weed whacker is starting to die.
Right. So I turn it off, and then a week later, I've got about minute 50 seconds. A week later, I got a minute 45.
Yeah.
And so I just keep using it to try and manage. Mm-hmm. But either I'm going to have to find that damn charger, or I'm just going to have to suck it up and go buy a new one.
Yep.
Which,
Yep. Gosh, this was 6 years ago, I want to say. I was actually put into the hospital for a day for a heart problem about 6 years ago. And it's actually the image that made me and my wife both say I probably need to shave, because I had almost like a ZZ Top style thing in the hospital where it was just the chin and it was down to about here. It was...
Sorry.
What the hell are you guys doing in Discord?
That about kills me.
All right. You say hilarious. I say temporary ban.
True. I guess I'm on the. I forgot I'm repping craft computing right now.
That's right.
It's not often I type on Discord with another name.
Let's see. Can I? See, I can block him.
What you got to do is just go through. You just got to start doing this.
How are you not sure if it's Budweiser? That's what I want to know. How are you not sure? How did you not go? Ugh.
Don't worry, I got your back here.
Skull, $15. I got you Aiden drink up.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right.
Back on track. This is hard. I'm sitting in your seat a little bit, managing some stuff, typing things.
I know, typing things.
How do you manage?
You got to keep the people happy. I've been doing everything for months, so I'm feeling a little free and loose.
I'm sort of reveling in the responsibility, but also it's a bit terrifying up here.
He thinks I can handle it.
I got to impress the boss, guys. He's watching.
My hair feels weird going that direction.
Well, you don't have to do it that way.
I normally go. I go right.
Well, aren't I going right?
No, you're going left.
No, I'm not. Look at the camera. We're going the same way.
Okay. Now we are. What? Oh, because I'm. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Life is, dude.
We talked about the Zelda phenomenon earlier.
I was trying to fix my hair in the camera before the show started, and I was like, wait. And I'm looking.
Oh wait, that's hard. Hold on.
Wait. How? No.
Poking himself in the eye.
Yeah. It was really hard, and it's like those old Zelda missions, and that I think
Zelda 1 where you got hit with the little flashy blob that reversed your controls.
Yes, and they were reversed.
Or no, that was Link's Awakening.
I was gonna say Link's Awakening.
That was the Game Boy game.
Which is the best Zelda game. I'll fight anybody who disagrees.
Third.
What's the first best?
I'm gonna say Breath of the Wild.
I haven't played it yet, so it looks amazing.
I'm gonna say Breath of the Wild.
Honestly, I'm this close to buying a Switch because of it. It looks so good.
You should. It's worth the price of admission.
And then I'm seeing all these people going out and having fun with their Switch with them, and I'm like, yeah, it looks so fun.
It looks so amazing. Why didn't? Yeah.
And it's just destroyed the Wii, which is thank you, Nintendo. You're back.
So
You did it.
So yeah, Breath of the Wild, absolutely number one.
Okay, number 2 then.
Number 2, I'm gonna go left field. I'm gonna say, what was the You Turn Into the Wolf, the GameCube?
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess.
Which was so good.
It was good. It was dark.
Oh,
It was a dark game.
I loved
but
Twilight
I
Princess.
loved the setting. I loved the mood that it set.
Yeah.
That's my number 2.
So
I will say number 3 is still Ocarina of Time.
So I'm
Because you
gonna
never forget your first 3D.
Oh, Ocarina of Time is so good. But here's the thing.
Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild, I put above both of those.
I haven't played Breath of the Wild, so forgive me. My list's probably off, but I'm going to say Link's Awakening.
Which is a solid choice. I can't argue with it, but I don't agree with it, but I can't argue with it.
Link's Awakening. Majora's Mask.
Ooh.
Twilight Princess.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Majora's Mask was... Because it's so
quirky,
right? But so is Link's Awakening. Like, think about all the weirdness in Link's Awakening.
Yeah, the you have to play the flute to wake up the fish or to crack the egg.
Not only that, but there's like a lot of characters that like aren't Zelda characters.
Well, you got Marin and you got yeah.
And it's like it's so fun and quirky, and it's like it's just like a little bit more like not comic booky, but like more stylized.
I will say what I hold above Link's Awakening is Minish Cap.
I haven't played Minish Cap.
Oh, dude! Do you have a Game Boy Advance?
I do.
I'll loan it to you.
Oh yes,
I've got it.
Yes,
I will loan it to you.
Now we're talking.
You have to play Minish Cap.
Absolutely, I love that. I played. What were some of the other ones that came out for Game Boy Advance?
There's Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
I played Oracle of Seasons, but I couldn't beat it.
Yeah, those were okay.
They were fine.
They were fine. They were fine games. They're mid tier. Lower mid-tier.
I gotta say, and this is a pretty unpopular opinion, but I hate Link to the Past.
Ooh, that is an unpopular opinion, because I love Link to the Past.
I hate it.
And I'm assuming you haven't played the 3DS version of it either.
No. I played the original, and then, of course, I got, 4 Swords on the Game Boy Advance, or whatever, which is...
Yep. Yeah, 4 Swords was pretty good, if you had more than one per player.
Right.
And I played it with 4 people on the GameCube, and that 4 Swords on the GameCube with 3 Game Boy Advance and a controller is an amazing experience.
Isn't it weird to think that like the GameCube was so good and had so many great titles, and then you go to the Wii, which is like
Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Wii Sports and Twilight Princess, which I played on the GameCube.
I played on the GameCube.
Yeah.
And the reason was too, and I remember thinking that this really bothered me. They changed the dominant hand of Link for the Wii. So that because most people are right-handed,
because
Link is left-handed.
92% of the world is right-handed.
Right, Link is left-handed. So you're playing the GameCube and you're fighting with a left-handed sword, and you don't even think about it.
Yep.
But yeah, in the Wii they switched it, and then not only that, but they reversed the maps. Yeah. Which I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
That is dumb.
Yep.
Is that all they did instead of like coding it or just changing the animation? They're just like mirror everything. Ka-ka!
Yeah. That's
dumb.
Probably it. They just threw a mirror image of the rendering up there. Let's see what other Zelda games are there? There's Spirit Tracks for the DS, and what was the other one for the DS?
Yeah, I hadn't played Spirit Tracks, but I heard that it was okay.
It was okay.
It was like a good attempt.
It was in the Wind Waker style, which I love the Wind Waker style, and I'm actually surprised, recalling everything, that Wind Waker didn't make my top 3.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that just now. I forgot about Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Which, what a great game.
Yeah.
What a great game. Never beat it, though. That's probably part of my thing, is that I've gone through it like
I think
3
Wind
or 4
Waker
times.
overtakes Ocarina of Time for me.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I mean, Ocarina of Time is classic, but if the only reason it's high on the list is because of nostalgia, then it doesn't belong there.
Right. And it's a good game.
Nobody will ever say it's bad. Nobody will ever...
But the gameplay in Wind Waker was better. The gameplay in Twilight Princess was better. The gameplay in Breath of the Wild was second to none. So there's so many good titles. There's a couple bad ones too. Yeah.
Link to the Past.
Moving right along.
But I'm not even like a huge fan though. Like I played a lot of Zelda 1, and maybe it was just because it was like I was just on the tail end of it, but I don't even really enjoy Zelda 1 all that much.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone through and beaten it, and it's like, I get it.
See, I played it when it was brand new on the NES, on the original hardware.
Sweet gold cartridge.
It still holds up. I will say it still holds up.
Sure.
As a playable game.
It's classic.
Link 2? Hell no. Doesn't hold up. I don't care what you say. For 20 years, it was a crappy game, and all of a sudden, the last 10 years, people are going, oh, no, it's a classic. No, bullshit.
Also, let's just get this out of the way. Link sucks in Smash Bros.
Whoa. Which Smash Bros?
I was saying the N64.
No. Link's my go-to in Smash Bros.
Oh.
Link is my go-to in Smash Bros. He's my go-to in Smash Bros, and he's my go-to in Soul Calibur 3.
Oh, he's really good at Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Especially Soul Calibur 2, he was in for the GameCube version. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And Smash Bros. 1. I gotta say, I started doing like Smash tournaments, and my go-to ended up just being Mario. Just constantly going Mario.
At least you didn't go Kirby. At least you weren't a punk.
No, Kirby sucks. Kirby sucks. No, Mario is funny.
No, Kirby's just cheap.
Yeah, I can see that. I think honestly, like, if you want to be a boss, you go Yoshi. Like, because he's hard to do well with, especially against.
Or you go DK.
I hate DK. But I gotta say, and this is an unpopular opinion, I think Super Smash Bros. Melee is the best one yet.
I agree with that.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't think that's an unpopular opinion.
Good.
Yeah. I don't think it is. Although I've played it on the 3DS, and it's pretty good on the 3DS.
Is it?
I'm really looking forward to getting a Switch and playing it on the Switch, though.
Nice.
So, all right. We'll touch briefly on this one.
Yeah.
So Corsair today announced that they bought Elgato. The deal is already done. Like, this is not like, oh, we're inquiring, we're offering stocks. No, deal's done. We are now Elgato.
Nice.
So I just wanted to put a quick thought out there. I think it's a great match. I think Corsair's a great hardware company, and I think Elgato's a great hardware company as well. I think both of them kind of struggle with software, though.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. Although the latest Pro Controller for the RGB for Corsair's stuff, their latest software is really good. And if they're putting out software that's good quality like that, really the last couple of versions of it have been pretty fantastic.
What else does Elgato do here?
They do HDMI capture.
Okay. Because are they behind? Is this like a completely separate? So looking at the window we have open here, game capture for Windows.
No, that is Elgato software.
So, but is that the built-in thing that just have? No.
Elgato has their own software.
Okay, that's what my question.
And in fact,
because in the like one of the latest Windows 10 updates, there's like built-in capture now,
right?
Which is
right.
I haven't used it, but
there's a number of different capture softwares out there.
Sure.
There's OBS, which is probably the most popular. There's XSplit, which is what I'm using now. I started on OBS and went to XSplit because now I'm broadcasting to both YouTube and Twitch.
Right.
And OBS only allows one output at a time. So I'm on XSplit now, but Elgato has their own software, their own streaming software.
Okay. See, I was looking at this picture.
Windows has their own streaming software
right.
Through the Windows G command or something like that.
Yeah.
NVIDIA has their own streaming. AMD has their own streaming through the Raptor piece of garbage crap. Son of a... Stop installing that... Yeah.
Well, hopefully this works out. It seems like a smart decision, but...
And in fact, today... I'm actually on an Elgato cam grabber.
Oh, really?
So I'm actually on an Elgato...
well, how about that?
Yeah. In fact, I bought it yesterday on Amazon and ordered one-day delivery because I had so many problems last week with my HDMI capture cards that I went, I'm just going to buy an Elgato and be done with it. And I bought the card, and at midnight last night, they announced that Corsair bought Elgato. So I might have like one of the last Elgato products purchased when they were still Elgato.
Wow. I gotta know.
Not that that's cool or anything. It's just interesting to me.
Are these guys paying you to run this? Because you're running Elgato software and...
I'm not running Elgato software. This is XSplit.
Oh, so sorry.
Yeah.
But you also have Corsair sweet
they have been off to my left shoulder here. And
you got the sweet case, too.
Not to be outdone by the stack of fans that XSPC sent me.
Absolutely.
Sorry, this is the link backwards all over again.
It's harder than it looks.
Oh, it totally is.
Your brain gets crossed.
Usually, if you look at the behind me, there's hints of videos that are upcoming.
I love it.
I try to lay hints in. So there's where's Waldo, so to speak. So yeah, I've got the Corsair LL120 fans behind me. I've got 6 of those fans. I've got 8 of the XSPC fans plus their controller. There's also a set of Arctic fans. That's right there in the cardboard box. And actually, if you look right up here, I've got the Elgato Cam Link.
Whoa, there it is.
So,
oh, it is on camera. Look at that.
Yep.
Look at that. You're corporate shill.
That's right. I'm such a shill.
Bought and paid for.
I bought that Elgato capture.
Yeah.
In fact, everything on that top shelf I paid for.
I'm sure they paid you to say that.
Everything on that top shelf I paid for. Every last thing. The EVGA for the win, the X399, the Ryzen Threadripper, the Elgato Cam Link, my chess set, my 8700K.
What about that sweet
my gauge
instrument cluster up there? I mean, if we're keeping the car and mechanical...
there we go. We'll put this on top of the ratchet brews.
There you go.
So this is the center gauge cluster out of my Nissan 350Z.
Oh, nice.
And the reason I have a center gauge cluster is my car's a little bit quirky. And the reason I say that is my car was imported from Canada. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so you got in kilometers?
So these are my metric gauges that I tore out of the car to put the imperial gauges in.
Nice.
Because the gauge on the left is your trip computer. It's not built into your center console. It's built into your center gauges. And so it would give me my speed in kilometers, which does me no good here. It would give me my fuel consumption in liters per 100 kilometers. So I was having to do the conversion in my head.
Remember last time I was in Canada, it was like, whoa, gas is so cheap. No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, they just shrunk how much you get and kept the dollar amount the same.
They trick you there.
Yeah. How many liters to a gallon? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, God, it was so expensive. It's ridiculous.
Yep. So this is my metric set of gauges out of a Nissan 350Z. So if you need a metric set of gauges, I have one, and they're possibly for sale.
Hit us up on Patreon first.
That's right.
Just kidding. Don't know why I try to monetize.
What are we drinking? I didn't get in the list. We are drinking right now the Ratchet Brewing Shake and Bake Pale. And I didn't read the ABV on this. It's a 5.7% ABV, made in Salem, Oregon by a really good friend of mine, Dan and Julie.
If you guys are in the area, check them out. And
we started with the Ratchet Brewing Rev It Up Coffee Stout, which is a phenomenal coffee stout.
That's my favorite that they have on tap right now.
Lighter bodied coffee stout.
And they're just, what's great about going into Ratchet, they're cruising through taps like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
People, like I went in there for the Lime Nut Kolsch, gone. It was gone. I was so pissed.
3.7 liters per gallon. I know that, but the problem is with the fractions, they flipped the fraction on me. So it's no longer miles per gallon. It's no longer distance per quantity. It's quantity per distance. So that's a way harder conversion to do in your head.
Yeah.
I was getting about 9.4 liters per gallon, which equates to about 24 miles the gallon.
Jeez.
So
I guess that's not bad for a sports car.
For what it is, for a 285, 300 horsepower V6 convertible.
For being honest, you get about what I get in my regular old crap car.
Right. Well, I traded in 2 cars to... I've had... About 18 months ago, I was driving a Chevy Cruze, and it was a commuter car, and it got 38 miles a gallon. It was fantastic because I drive 35 miles to work and then 35 miles from work. So I do a lot of miles on my car. And eventually I decided, I need a truck. I'm doing a lot more. I was opening a VR business so I could bankroll my YouTube thing. I need a truck.
Yep.
And so I went out and I traded in the Cruze to buy a truck. And when you do the math in your head from 38 miles the gallon down to 16 miles the gallon, you go, oh yeah, I could totally afford to drive that back and forth to work every day. And then 20,000 miles in a year later, you go, oh my God, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
And so then I went, you know what, I should probably just buy a commuter car because it'll be about the same amount of money on gas or on another physical vehicle to have in my possession. So I went out and bought a Toyota MR2. And I drove that for about 6 months, and then I started developing some back pains from it because it was just too flippin' small.
Yeah.
And I traded that in for a Nissan 350Z 2004 Roadster Touring Edition. So that is my current commuter car.
Legit.
It only gets 24 to 25 miles a gallon.
Doesn't matter.
21 if you put your foot into it, which it does reward.
That's up from 16, my friend.
It's up from 16.
Which, when you're driving 20,000 miles a year...
And it is still way cheaper to maintain a 350Z than it is to maintain a four-wheel drive with a locking rear diff, with all the mechanical things that can go wrong on a truck when you're putting 20,000 miles on it. All of a sudden, you take 16,000 of those miles away, you can maintain that truck forever.
But now you still got the truck, right?
So I still got the truck.
Still got a truck.
And now I have a 350Z.
There you go.
So
yeah, it sounds like you got a sweet deal in there somewhere.
Yep. All right. So yeah, Corsair bought Elgato. I don't know how we got into cars from that. Oh, you pointed at my gauge cluster.
Well, it was the one thing you didn't mention. I had to ask it.
That's right.
You're like, I bought everything that's up there.
I bought everything that's up there.
But the one thing I'm not mentioning.
That's right. So, we mentioned it at the top of the show. Researchers have uncovered a new vulnerability. Shocker. It's a new week. The week of June 27th. That Intel's processors may be even more vulnerable than we thought, even though we didn't think they could get any more vulnerable. This is a vulnerability that could be on the scope of Spectre and Meltdown. But it's not being treated as quite a big of a deal in the press because it just doesn't make headlines anymore. 6 months later, it's like, yeah,
it's not a big deal in the press.
We know Intel sucks at security. It's okay.
Right. It's not a big deal in the press, too, because Intel is paying the press to not run it.
No.
I wish that was true.
We will not spread lies and slander on this show. We'll talk rumors. Oh, we will talk rumors.
I'm starting the rumor right now, Jeff.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. This is... Who didn't see this coming? I mean... And honestly, this is but a small blip in larger problems that Intel has been having.
How many times did you say Intel on that one? There you go.
Thank you, sir. Read 'em and weep, boys. Might be able to make my yearly trip tonight if I keep going.
There we go. Yeah, just keep that out of your pocket. Anyway, so there's been a vulnerability exposed in the hyper-threading protocol for Intel processors, which, if you don't know what hyper-threading is, it is traditionally a processing core can only run one instruction at a time, whatever it's working on. And all of a sudden I'm losing my voice.
Stop it.
Beer fix that. All right. So traditionally a CPU core can only run one task at a time. So if you send it a task to run, it will run that task and then say, okay, give me the next one. What multi-threading does, what's often referred to as multi-threading, and what Intel calls hyper-threading, is it allows it to run more than one task at the same time on a single core. And so you end up with multiple threads on a core. Traditionally with Intel it's 2, although some of their exotic server CPUs will do 4 threads per core.
Right.
But typically 2. Where they can run 2 sets of instructions at a time, or basically decode 2 tasks for you at once using one single processing core. To let your CPU run more efficiently. What they've discovered is very much like the Spectre and Meltdown vulnerabilities is the way in which Intel has designed their system is not secure. Where with Spectre and Meltdown, all of the L2 and L3 cache, so the shared memory on the processor, you could register and read that memory on any given thread. So if I had a virtualized machine where I was given 2 processor cores, I can run those 2 processor cores, but I can read the virtual memory or the cached memory of every other processing core that's in that server. And so if I've got a 28 core server running, I can run all the cached memory that's being active within that server.
Right.
So I'm not isolated from a virtual machine, which should be securely isolated.
Right.
And that's a problem. What they found is the same vulnerability exists within hyperthreading. And it's not patchable by software other than disabling hyperthreading.
Right. Which
halves your multi-threading ability.
Right. Why even go this route?
Right. Do you know why an i5 scores so much lower in Cinebench than an i7, it's because an i7 can multi-thread.
Right.
It can run multiple instructions at the same time. And OpenBSD, in their latest release, in their latest security patch, has disabled SMT, has disabled hyperthreading. And OpenBSD is kind of a big deal.
Right.
They're used pretty industry-wide for a lot of different web servers, file server applications. It's the base of FreeNAS.
Right.
And so, yeah, in the latest security update for OpenBSD or for FreeBSD, you can't run hyperthreading. And according to OpenBSD, I said FreeBSD, OpenBSD's chief, if you want to go to, what is the next slide on there? DeRat, he says there is no easy fix for this new Intel bug. There's not like the magic wand we can wave to say, oh, sorry, you can't read this other processing thread. So whereas the vulnerability before was we can read the cached memory that's not supposed to be shared with my processing thread.
Right.
I can read, if I'm on the same core in my virtual machine, and another virtual machine or another instance or another program, application, what have you, is using one of my threads that's on that same processing core. So let's say my program is using core or thread A, and the program I want to access is using thread B. That's on the same processing core as mine. Thread A can read the core or the memory that's cached and the tasks that are being ran out of thread B.
Right.
You're not supposed to be able to read your neighbor's homework.
No.
You're not supposed to be able to lean over and go, okay.
No.
Okay. That's exactly what this is. It's cheating in elementary school, or cheating in high school, or for some of you, cheating in college. Shame on you.
Yeah. For some of you, cheating in real life.
That's right.
Not that college isn't real life. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to all of you people currently in college.
But anyway, yeah. So this is going to have pretty large ramifications, because the only fix is to disable hyperthreading, and hyperthreading is what keeps Intel relevant in a lot of multi-threaded workspace.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what AMD kicks the living hell out of Intel right now, is multi-threaded processes.
Yeah.
Is scalability, is running multiple cores, multiple threads, and that's why it's attractive to the data center right now with Epic. That's why it's attractive to content creators like myself for video production. That's why it's attractive for multitaskers, for audio production, is because it scales so well across so many multiple cores and so many multiple threads.
Yeah.
And if Intel loses the one piece that it has left to be competitive with AMD,
they're done.
Woo.
They're done. I just can't. I wish I could be a fly on the wall in their like boardroom meetings right now.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, potentially big deal for Intel. Even more stock crashing, even after their CEO resigned, which I didn't even put in my notes because we finished the show at 10:20 p.m. That news broke at 1 a.m. It broke 3 hours after my show aired. That Intel CEO had resigned on Wednesday last week, and every other show has had an opportunity to talk about it, sound off about it. I don't think I could give a separate take than what's already been done. So, news stories like that have already been around the works. If it's been a week, you probably won't hear about it on this show.
Right.
So
yeah.
that's kind of where I'm trying to do.
It doesn't get more a week than 3 hours after that show.
Designing this show, I try to do Sunday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
So if news released on Thursday and Linus talked about it, I probably won't talk about it. But if released on Thursday and Linus didn't talk about it, maybe I will. It's kind of that vibe where I want to be unique. I want to be something different that not everyone else talked about.
Yeah. If you guys quit watching Linus, then he'll stop talking about stuff.
I'm not saying don't stop watching Linus.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah.
Just kidding. He's got a great YouTube channel.
WAN Show is great. I watch the WAN Show. I watch Awesome Hardware. I watch Jay's 2 Cents. I watch Gamers Nexus. I watch all the same shows that you guys do. So keep watching them. They're great shows.
That's what makes,
but I will try to keep this a little bit different feel, a little bit different news stories, maybe something out of left field. And they're not going to talk about beer.
And they're not going to talk about Tusk.
Right.
And turn in another man into a walrus.
That's
in
right.
An Australian accent.
That's right.
Have they ever talked about Gumtree on those other shows?
I have no idea.
I think it's a safe bet.
That's right.
Unless they're from Australia, which I don't think so.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, going back to Kevin Smith, have you watched his interview with Colbert?
Was this recent?
Recent.
I haven't.
After his heart attack.
I have not. No.
Yeah.
The only thing post heart attack I got was him live at the Elsinore, and then Joe Rogan and a couple other things. But.
No. He did a spot on Colbert where he talked about that night. He talked about the night he had the heart attack.
Yeah.
It's an amazing watch.
Yeah, he talked about it a little bit live. It was just bizarre, and then he went into a lot of detail in Joe Rogan that he didn't give live, but it was just like, man, it's just a bizarre series of circumstances, And I'm happy he's alive because
he had a full femoral block, which is called the Widowmaker.
Right, and his surgeon shows up and he goes, well, you got about 20% chance of living, but you're gonna live because I'm the best.
Because I'm damn good at what I do.
Yeah, I'm damn good at what I do.
Yeah.
Which is like how great. Good for you, man. I'm happy he's alive because he's like one guy who, whether you love him or you hate him, he's got unique art out there. He's got some unique art. He's the one man that could make Tusk. He's the one guy that could have made Yoga Hosers, neither of which is a great movie. But
sorry, I want to hit this comment real quick. Brad Yelch, gas is for washing parts, alcohol is for drinking, nitro is for racing. My man. Sorry, I just caught that.
No. I was gonna say I think Tusk was like one of the last performances I saw from Michael Parks before he died, and that was like just on fire. It was so good. People make fun of it because it's cheesy, but who else is gonna make that movie? So
also, Brad, injection is nice, but I'd rather be blown. Just going to leave that one alone. Let it float.
Reverend, how often do they just begin talking about Star Trek and Zelda? Honestly, this is probably the first time I've talked about Zelda on my show. Yeah. Like, do you guys touch base on Zelda all the time?
Did you see my shirt last week?
I did, yes. Actually, the Star Trek Zelda. I forgot I did tune in for a little bit, yeah. What a great shirt.
Yeah. I love that shirt.
That's awesome.
Gamtree. Yep.
Is that how you say it in Australia?
Gamtree.
I'm going to go to the old Gamtree. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
That's right. G'day, mate. Size of a tangerine.
That wasn't bad. Tech Yes City talks about Gumtree all the time. Yep. He's one of my favorite watches on YouTube. He legitimately is. I love Brian.
Fine, Noctrem.
Yep.
Noctem.
And Brad says, thank you for the shout out. Anytime, Brad. You are welcome anytime.
You're welcome.
I actually bought that shirt on Wish.com.
Did you really?
I did. I totally did. Nice. I was trying to do a piece on what can you legitimately get good off Wish.com.
Right.
Because all my videos have been negative, and
right.
There's some decent things you can buy. Now, there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of crap. There's a lot of the traditional Chinese import that's like, oh my God, that's garbage. I opened the box and it literally fell apart, or it came as dust.
Remember buying from China before Wish.com?
Oh, God. It was hard.
Yeah. I remember one time...
I remember when Alibaba came out, and it's like, oh, my God, I can buy legitimately direct from a Chinese retailer? Are you kidding me?
Right? How revolutionary is that? We make fun of it, but it actually is huge economically. That's what's wild. But I remember probably 10 years ago, I went to go buy some Cat 5 cable connectors, basically, to extend my Cat 5s. Couplers. Thank you, sir. And, of course...
You know what they say, injection is nice, but...
I wanted to get some couplers, and they were so expensive at Radio Shack, Norvac. I thought, well, I wonder if I can find them online. So I found them online from a Chinese manufacturer, and they're like, okay, but you have to buy 50 of them, but they're like 2 cents a piece.
Yep.
It was like, oh, okay, great.
Oh, the first time I did that... Monoprice was one of the first ones that was offering Chinese import cables and goods and couplers and adapters and ends and crimps and everything else that you could buy at a wholesale price.
Yeah.
Because every single U.S. retailer, even Amazon, was selling a pre-crimped Cat 5 cable for like $12. And all of a sudden I could buy them on Monoprice for $1.07.
Yeah, right? You got to wait like a long time for shipping.
And that was for a 7-footer, and it's like, oh, I want a 10-footer. Oh, that's $1.10. Oh, I want a 20-footer. Oh, that's $1.30. Are you kidding me?
There's no limit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's the max that you can get? Like 300 feet or something like that?
Yeah.
But they sell 400 feet because, well, that's the problem we have.
Because standards be damned.
Yeah. You can buy a 600-foot cable.
That's right.
We bought these couplers, and so we get a bag of 50, and 10 of them worked.
Yep.
10 of them worked.
Yep.
The rest were literally just pieces of plastic.
See, I had the opposite experience. See, I bought very early from a Chinese e-tailer a set of RJ45 surface mount boxes.
Right.
Because I was doing a lot of cabling runs back then. And it's like, dude, they're like 20 cents a piece. I'm going to buy like 200 of them. And so I still have those original Cat 5 surface mount boxes. And I still use them today. Now, they're not great. And unless you're really, really good and you maintain the twists all the way down to the very last second, you're not going to get Cat 5e certification. You're not going to get gig speeds through them sometimes. I've had some runs where they're like really good runs, and I get like 560 megs. Like, okay, I'll accept that because I paid 20 cents for the damn box.
Right, yeah. God, that's legit.
Yeah, so, yeah, I did that all the time. Like I said, I still have those boxes, and if it's a run that I don't care about, I just need data here. I don't care if it's good.
Right.
I'll still use those boxes because they're cheap.
Right. That's wild.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's open this guy up. If you want another beer. It's up to you. Up to you. It's 9:48.
Has anybody ever declined a beer on the show before?
Exactly. You'd be the first.
Do it.
It's a 12-ouncer.
Yeah.
It's a little light.
But it's 7% or something.
Is it?
It's 7.5.
On a day we were trying to go lighter, we're finishing with a 7.5.
No.
Yep.
I know.
So this is one of my favorite new finds. Now, we drank the Cold Brew 2.0 on the show last week or the week before. One of the more recent shows with John. This is the original Cold Brew IPA. Now, when you think... Nice pour. When you think coffee and when you think IPA, you go, oh, I like coffee. Oh, I like IPAs. And then you put them together, your brain goes, nah, no. And your brain tries to reject the thought.
Ooh. First of all, Rogue is the shit, and this smells amazing.
It does smell amazing.
That color is amazing.
The colors, it has an IPA color, and then it's got this brown nectarish hue to it, where it's not quite see-through, it's not clear, but the color is just so good with it. And the smell is just this fresh roasted coffee. Not the smell you get when you go into Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or one of the big chains, but you go to your local coffee shop,
right? And
whatnot. It's that homegrown barista smell that you walk in and you go, yes, it's that kind of smell.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you all. Yeah, Rogue Cold Brew IPA.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I told you, those flavors blend.
You don't even get hops.
So well.
You don't even get hops.
No.
In the smell, maybe. In the taste?
Yeah. What's funny is the hops are at the back of this.
Even then, I'm not getting hardly any hop.
Yeah.
Hardly any.
Yeah.
No, this is perfect.
Yeah. It's so good. So good.
7.5%.
Yeah. And it doesn't taste 7.5. It tastes 5.
And they use Stumptown's cold brew for you Stumptown fans out there.
That's right.
Not so subtle. I don't get the hops at all.
I do get the hops. I don't know if you just had two really good beers, and especially coming off the shake and bake, which is very hop forward. If it's just more subdued, because I am tasting a lot more coffee than I did the last time.
Yeah.
And when this is colder, you get a little bit more of the hops. We're getting a little bit more of the malt flavor now.
Yes.
And it's.
I was gonna say, I wonder if that has anything to do with it, because I mean,
it's been sitting out for 2 hours now.
I can get hops, but it's less.
Yeah.
Than.
And like I said, the hops in this are in the back of the drink, which is really weird for an IPA.
Yeah.
Try rye whiskey. Not allowed to drink it anymore by my own suppression. I actually just bought a bottle of Bullet Rye.
Nice.
Yes.
I love Bullet.
I've had the Bullet Bourbon before. I've never had the rye. The rye is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my old fashions, I prefer a rye whiskey.
Yeah.
To a bourbon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Had one the other night. Oh God, yes. So good. The last 30 minutes of the show are going to be us going, oh God, I remember that. Oh God. Oh. So good.
Pretty much.
Yep.
That's what happens.
How long is the show? We aim for 2 hours.
Thanks, Marty.
It goes till about 10 o'clock.
Just kidding, Marty.
10 o'clock my time.
We appreciate the...
Which is 9:52.
Yeah, we got 8 minutes.
Keeping us on track. I appreciate it.
Buckle up, Marty.
That's right.
Because we got a lot of articles to go through. Here we go.
God, we are nowhere near the show notes.
Remember less than an hour ago, and we're like, we're doing so good.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we started talking Zelda. And,
yeah.
Oh God, it's 9:50.
But we haven't talked about Star Trek yet.
We haven't gotten to Star Trek.
Not at all. Not at all.
Haven't talked about how 2 weeks ago was the anniversary of the Locutus episode.
Which is a great
stop!
episode.
Stop! Otherwise, we'll never get to anything else.
Followed by one of my favorites, Family.
That's
Anyways,
right.
let's keep going.
All right.
So we'll just read the headlines here and just blast through them all.
So a major NVIDIA partner has returned 300,000 GPUs, and we broke this story last week. And I broke it as a take this with a grain of salt because I only have one source on this. Because it broke like an hour before I started the show. So I had one source on this. In the news since, we've had multiple sources reporting on this. This is probably confirmed that a major NVIDIA partner has returned 300,000 unsold GPUs that they're going, we're not going to be able to unload these. And this is not like, oh, here, have a GTX 1080 for the Win Edition. No, this is the bare dies, the GTX cards, Pascal series cards. So what is normally the fab for a GTX, so what NVIDIA would provide the board partners to produce their cards with, they just got returned.
Right.
So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for the future of Pascal series. I don't know what that means for the next 11 series. I don't know what that means for release dates. What if it means prices are going to be going down because NVIDIA's all of a sudden going to have a fire sale on these.
Right.
Or if board partners are going, screw it, we want your next board design. We want to start fabbing up and preparing for that fab. So this could mean a lot of different things. But anyway, we broke the story last week. You heard it here first last Wednesday. We were probably the first show to talk about it.
That we were.
Well, John was.
Give us a sub.
You weren't here.
Well, whatever.
You can take the credit, though.
I'm not going to take the credit. I'm just saying craft computing.
I'll give you credit.
Thank you. That's so kind.
By the way, I let John know today, and I'm going to let you know live on air. Do you want to go to PAX West?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going to PAX West.
When is
it? It's August 31st through September 3rd or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're going to have a presence at PAX West. We're going to cover
go.
the event. We're going to do a meet and greet up there. We're going to do a couple different things. So
that sounds great.
Yeah. So PAX West. If you live in the Northwest, go to PAX West.
We'll see you there live.
I will be there. I'm also going to QuakeCon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I fly out in 6 weeks for QuakeCon.
Legit.
I am also going to be bringing a PC mod, a modded computer to QuakeCon, which I haven't even started on yet.
Oh, whoa. Got a lot of work to do.
So, for those who don't know, I'm also part of the Modders Inc. crew. I do reviews, video reviews for Modders Inc. On the side. They wanted everyone from Modders Inc., anyone who was going to the event, to bring a modded PC. And the theme this year is anything Bethesda.
Nice.
So anything we've ever done. So it could be Doom, it could be Quake, it could be Fallout, it could be Wayne Gretzky Hockey 98. It doesn't matter. Anything Bethesda themed. I think I'm going to do a Dishonored build.
Nice. That'd be pretty slick.
So it's kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the... Yeah, and I was thinking, God, there's Doom, there's Fallout. I guess I could do a Fallout, but what am I going to do on a Fallout build in a month? What am I going to do on a Skyrim build that hasn't been done in a month?
Yeah.
You know what?
Fallout, there's some options, but Dishonored is cool.
There's so much unexplored in the steampunk realm there. I think I could knock a case out there in a month. So, yeah. I'm bringing a modded PC to QuakeCon.
If you guys aren't tweeting at Jeff every single day to remind him to get that done, then what are you even doing?
Yeah. By the way, I don't even have the case yet. I did get sponsored on a case from Fractal Design, so the case is on its way.
Nice.
It'll be here like Monday.
That's legit.
I have no idea what else is coming, but there's also rules that we have because it's a staff competition. It's a competition within the Modders Inc. crew.
Right.
We have a $250 budget.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's supposed to be. I could never do a case mod. No. You totally can. I did this for $250.
You ought to well, I guess I imagine it's probably going on Modders Inc., but I was going to say you ought to do a kind of comparison on craft computing if you can.
Yeah, there'll be a whole article, and there'll probably be a couple build vlogs of the case.
That's so awesome. What a good idea.
So, I've got a Fractal Design case on the way. We're not sure if any other sponsors are getting on board for the internal hardware, but it's not about the internal hardware, it's about the case. It's about the PC mod itself.
That's cool.
So I am going for a Dishonored steampunk look, and I did buy a Corvo Atano mask to inspire me. So that's on its way. It'll actually be here tomorrow. I was hoping it'd be here for this show tonight so I could kind of show it off.
Oh, damn. That'll
be here tomorrow.
Too bad.
All right, what else do we have for news?
Okay, well, we've got
a lot of NVIDIA news. So there's the 300,000 return GPUs, which has since been confirmed. I may delay the G-Sync article till next week because that's still relevant. So I think we'll hit that one next week.
Okay.
We've got the NDA language for the NVIDIA that Heisa.de said, we're not going to sign this because we have to release only positive reviews of NVIDIA.
Right.
That's not what this language says. In fact, that's contradicted later. If you discover something on your own through your research of NVIDIA, you are free to publish that. That's actually explicitly listed in the NDA.
Oh, wow.
And so if you've been on the NDA, Jeff, why hasn't Fractal Josh been on the show yet? I had lunch with Fractal Josh for 2 hours in Vegas, and it was the best 2 hours of my goddamn life. That guy is a national treasure. And I am going to try to meet up with him at QuakeCon, and I'm going to try to meet up with him at PAX West. I will have him on the show at some point. He is an absolute joy to be around. So, yes, I actually have one of his business cards.
Great.
So yeah. We have met. He's a great guy. We got along great. He did a burnout in a Porsche 911 Carrera for us in the parking lot of some Old Town Vegas.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Because of his Hertz rental cars that he gets for free. He was driving a Porsche 911 Carrera S, I believe. And so he walks out there, and Fractal Anna was there too. So I had lunch with Anna as well. And she's a doll. She's absolutely wonderful. But they were a great day. And we didn't even talk business. We just talked we were just BSing.
That's great.
Having steak and eggs and whatnot at this Vegas diner. But we get up to the parking lot, and he's driving the Carrera S today, and it's like, I got to get into this thing, and then go trade it in later on for some. And I'm picking up the Lamborghini tomorrow, and we're gonna. And I'm running out to the desert with Jay's 2 cents to do this ad, and so he was in the Porsche on his way to go pick up the Lamborghini that's in the Jay's 2 cents Fractal the Meshify Mini C or whatever. That ad, I know the backstory behind that ad. I know the car he had before that. So, yeah, that's when we had lunch.
See, this is why you watch Craft Computing Talking Heads.
Get the inside story of Fractal Josh. Great guy. But anyway, yeah, he'll be on the show at some point. I'm sure I'll get him on the hook sometime.
That'd be great. So I guess we're passing over the NDA.
Yeah, if you want to hear more about the NDA, Gamers Nexus yesterday, and I was going to spend more time on this, but they knocked it out of the park yesterday. Gamers Nexus released a 28-minute video where it's basically Steve on the phone with his legal counsel saying, what does this NDA actually say?
Oh, that's great.
And it's phenomenal.
That's great.
If you haven't watched that, and if you're curious on this, and if you want complete transparency in that NDA, go watch Gamers Nexus break down that NDA. And I think I linked that article in the video description. I think I did that already because I knew we might be short on time.
Now, this is a great one. And even if we don't dive in, the headline itself is great.
Oh, WPA3?
Wi-Fi security is starting to get its biggest upgrade in over a decade. Of course, Jeff said it. WPA3.
Yep.
That's huge.
So WPA3 was announced back in January, and for those who don't know what that is offhand, WPA is the security protocol that most Wi-Fi networks use today. There's a number of different variances of wireless security. Started with WEP with the original 128 or 32-bit WEP, then we had 64, then 128, and then we figured out that could be broken in about 17 seconds with a Raspberry Pi.
Right.
And then we went to WPA, which was a hashed security protocol for it, and it used two different handshakes.
Right.
So it would say, hey, I'm this guy, I want to connect to your Wi-Fi network. Are you really this guy, and do you really want to connect to my Wi-Fi network? Yes, I'm this guy, and I really want to connect to your Wi-Fi network. Okay, you can connect to my Wi-Fi network. With a hash security key that went between them in that whole process.
Right.
And your data was kind of encrypted. We later found out that we can break the encryption because we know the hash.
Right.
So out came WPA2. And there's two variances to WPA2. There's WPA2 Personal, which is what most people use today on their home routers.
Right.
And that is your passphrase. That's a security code that they say, you can make it like 8 characters, but try to make it like 16.
Right.
Try to make just a decently long password that's a, hey, battery correct horse staple.
Battery correct horse staple.
If you want to go XKC. make it something that's difficult to guess, easy to remember. You'll probably be safe. What we found out is actually you're not really, because I can break into that in like 5 minutes with a Raspberry Pi. So out comes WPA3, and WPA3 is kind of overhauling the whole system. I didn't speak of the enterprise security because no one cares about that except me. I'm like, ooh! But yeah, so WPA3 comes out, and WPA3 is using a 4-way handshake for security authentication using the 802.11ax standard. And WPA2 has been out since 2004, so this is the first major security upgrade to Wi-Fi that's happened in 14 years.
Almost 15 years, yeah.
Same age as my 350Z. It's weird. My 350Z is as old as WPA2.
And just as vulnerable.
You see how she was dressed? She was asking for it. Look, her top comes off.
You wouldn't download a house. Just kidding. I
totally would. Have you seen the new concrete 3D printers? Those are amazing.
Wouldn't that be legit?
Yeah. I might 3D print my next studio.
That would be a project. We got to film the whole thing from start to finish. Do a time lapse, set it up.
My ultimate goal is to resign from my current position, go full-time on YouTube, buy a piece of property, and build a studio that's Craft Studios. Maybe I'll 3D print it.
You should.
That's an idea.
You should. I mean, how hard could that be, right? Like, probably the most expensive part is renting the equipment to, like, 3D print it.
Yeah, they say they can build a house in a day. The studio that I need is probably bigger than that, and then you also have to go in and wire it and light it and insulate it and everything else. So there's groundwork in there. So a week of renting a 3D printing concrete machine.
Done deal. You heard it here.
I might 3D print I've already actually started designing my next studio. So.
But it's going to be 3D printed.
I don't know if it will be.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll let you off the hook this time.
It's going to be a big building, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because it's going to be my shop as well. Because I need shop space for multiple cars to park and everything else. And
naturally.
I want to have a 4-post lift so I can actually lift cars off the ground. And,
that would be
so I can actually do things in my shop. Yeah. Yeah, so that it's on my wish list. But I want like an 80 by 40 foot shop. And then about a third to half of it is going to be my studio space.
That'd be so great.
Yep. So that's my goal. That's my high in the sky.
It's happening.
Yep.
Just need a few more subs.
Yep. 300,000. We can make it happen.
Tell your friends about Craft Computing if you haven't done it yet. Well,
and then I can employ Rhett full time, and he can operate the camera.
I'm such a good cameraman.
That's right.
I'm the best.
Best I can afford.
Yeah, I'm the best on Fiverr.
Mm-hmm.
In the $5 range. I mean, what up?
Yeah, that's right.
You want to keep those Intel articles coming? You're going to keep the money.
There you go. There's one more.
Thank you, sir.
That's right.
Thank you. Making those big monies.
My Intel payment came in, so, you know. So,
Here we are.
So the SD Alliance, which if you don't know who they are, they're the people behind the SD card standards. So SD, SDHC, SDXC, SDEX, all of the standards for the SD card, and that's the SD card, micro SD, mini SD. If you watched my crappy Game Boy Advance cartridge knockoff on Wish.com, they're the people who designed the standards. There's a new standard that was announced literally like 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
Of SCEX, I believe is what they're calling it. SDXCES. EX.
SDXCEX.
Thank you.
1.
EX1. That's right, EX1. Because that's the speed variant of the SDXCEX standard.
Okay. Oh my god.
So, there you go.
Ramps up data transfer speeds to as much as 985 megabytes per second.
That's right.
What the hell?
Yeah. Basically what they're doing is they're implementing NVMe storage technology over PCI Express interfaces. Yeah, you just saw the number, didn't you?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It bumps the capacity.
Wait. I'm getting to that. So what they're doing is they're taking the SD card standard, which I have... Do I have one here? I thought I had one here. That's some on the shelf. Tell you what, it's smaller than a Game Boy 3DS cartridge. Pokemon Y, for those wondering. So they're taking the SD card standard and they're implementing NVMe storage standards over PCI Express. So the SD card will connect to your camera or your whatever device over PCI Express X4 links with a speed of up to 400 or 985 megabytes per second read and write and of up to 128 terabyte capacity. That's the new capacity standard, what they can reach. Now, that is not even theoretically possible at this point.
Right.
But that is what the new standard calls for. So, it's on paper somewhere that eventually we're going to get the fab process down to where in something the size of an SD card, you can hold 128 terabytes of data. Now, that seems unbelievable today. But think of 5 years ago when you thought it was inconceivable to have a half a terabyte in a micro SD card. And they have it today.
I mean, when I was in high school, a terabyte was just, that was not going to happen.
Right.
You know, like it was because of just the laws of computing and the way that it all works.
I know, 6 years ago was a long time for you.
It's 5, thanks. No,
I kid. I'm 27! Yeah.
How'd you guess that so accurately?
Because I know.
You remember me saying that?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Totally do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty...
I'm good at what I do, damn it.
That was spooky, actually, because I'm pretty sure I've only mentioned it once, and I'm pretty sure I also mentioned it when I was 26, so, like, you managed to, like, do the math or something on my birthday? I don't know. That was creepy.
I have a memory that's...
You have my credit card information around here? Like, how did you get this?
Your social starts with a 5.
Yeah, but so does yours.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good guess because isn't it?
Although you were Salem, so you're going to be a 512.
No.
Damn. I was hoping to just nail it.
I was impressed with that. That's the same technique I have, which is just like wild dart thrown through the darkness.
You bullshit until you hit something. And then you go, oh yeah, I had that from the beginning. I had you dead to rights.
I was actually born in Silverton, so.
See, had I known that, I would have known you were a 542.
Not quite.
Ah!
When you got that second digit, I was like, oh, damn.
7.
Nope.
Are we going to guess all the digits of my social security number? This is going to turn into a LifeLock commercial really quick.
Which is funny because, honestly, like, Talking Heads is powered by LifeLock.
And they're doing enhanced security for your daily life.
For only $9.99 a month, you can have peace of mind.
Did you know that millions of Americans have their identity stolen every... I'm kidding. This is all bullshit. But seriously, LifeLock, call me.
We're here. Honestly, like, without actually any sort of identity stealing mechanisms, he got 2 digits of my social security number right. Oh, which is horrifying in its own right.
That was funny.
But see, anybody who's watching, they're like, how did he do it? It's because...
What's funny is in chat, they're all talking about, what laptop should I buy?
Right. Oh, and somebody, by the way, said they're a new sub. So cheers to you for being a new sub.
Thank you.
Complex Alienware. Thanks for chiming in. Tell your friends.
Thank you.
But yeah.
Welcome to the show. We get a little loose around hour 0.5.
Yeah. Today it started at 5 minutes in. Social Security numbers are determined by region. Part of the numbers are. So that's how he's able to guess.
Yep.
Because that's the regional number.
Yep.
Which, you know, if you really knew your stuff, you would have got the first 3 right on your second guess.
I should have.
Although, I guess, I don't know, is 542 regional to Silverton, or?
I know it's regional to Oregon. Although they're throwing curveballs now because now they're reusing Social Security numbers.
Are they? Well, they have been, and I looked up. It's like there's an average of like probably 5 people in the United States that have your Social Security number,
right?
Which is just weird.
Yeah.
But what's even weirder is NPR ran a special on Social Security numbers, and it was like never designed to be used for everything.
For the way that it is now, it was designed for a tax identifier, and that was it.
That was
it.
Or
no, sorry, it wasn't even designed for tax.
Your Social Security.
It was designed
benefits.
for your Social Security benefits.
Right.
For when you turn 65, you have a number that's registered to your birth date, and that's your identification number.
Then the IRS hopped on board. Then the banks hopped on board. Then everybody,
the credit bureaus hopped on board.
Everybody hopped on board, and now it's like this number that's associated with your entire existence.
Yeah.
And it's.
Yep.
Well, everybody's had their identity stolen. So
I will say, when
system.
I was 15 and a young lad, I knew I was looking for a job. And when I was 15, the job market was hard. It was right after the dot-com bomb. There were so many people out of work and so many people leaving like Silicon Valley to go to anywhere else in America to find any retail job they possibly could.
Right.
It was a rough time. Someone saying shot. Tell you what, $10 more and I'll do a shot. I don't know if Rhett will because he's got to drive, so I'm not going to rope him into that. But
I gotta drive 3 hours by 6
Yeah.
a.m. tomorrow morning too. So I mean, look, nope, not quite,
Okay.
not Tim.
All right. Anyway, so when I was 15, finding a job was rough. Well, a friend of the family worked in the unemployment office. And so I went in there, or he goes, tell you what, make an appointment, come on in. I don't care if you're 15, you can come on in, you can use the service, it's free. And we'll find you some. We'll find or people that are looking for people of your qualifications.
Sure.
So I went in there, and I sat down, and I was giving him all my information. And he's typing it in, and he goes, okay... Apparently you're 47 and you've been working in masonry for the last 13 years.
Sign me up for the masonry jobs, Doc.
That's odd. Your birth date is this, right? And I said, yeah. He goes, okay, so you're not the other one either. Okay. It's like, I'm 15. I've never filed a W-2 in my natural life. And 2 other people are using my Social Security numbers in my city.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, I lost all faith walking out of that office.
Oh, wow.
Of any kind of security of my future Social Security number.
Well, that explains why when you're like getting your credit score, they're like, have you bought a house in the last 10 years? Opened a business? Blah, blah, blah. They have like the questionnaire on your
They're not trying to identify you. They're trying to... They're playing a Guess Who game.
Right.
Do you have a mustache? No? Okay.
Yeah. Can you do more than 10 push-ups at a time?
Do you wear glasses? Do you have a popular YouTube channel? No? Okay, you're not... Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I always get those questions when I'm trying to... No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, you're 5'4"?
Oh my gosh.
How long have you worked in masonry?
Well, only, let's see, 20-something years at this point.
Good guess.
Well, you told me how old you were at one point.
Yeah, I'm older than that, though.
I tried. I was being gracious.
That's right. Let's see. Let's jump all the way to the bottom, because the bottom's the best one.
Okay.
And I think we'll end with that.
Let's do it.
Because it's 10:15. We're not going for the record tonight. The record's like 2:28. I don't want to get there.
We can't do it. I gotta pee.
Yeah. So did John last week, and so did Steve the week before that. See, the problem is when you start getting to like the 3-beer state, you're going, okay, that second beer's kicking in now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, remember last time I was on, too? I was, like, crossing my legs and, like, just waiting patiently for it to get off.
Seriously, I turned off last week with, or 2 weeks ago with Steve, and he goes, are we off? And I went, yeah. He goes, good. It's rough, man. It's rough if you're not used to this. Anyway, last story of the day I wanted to get to. This is no way tech-related, no way beer-related, but it's near and dear to my heart, and that's Pulp Fiction related.
Absolutely.
So I'm also a big movie buff. I love movies, and I especially love Samuel L. Jackson. So this week, I haven't seen any third-party verification of what they say they have, but from what they say they have and the documentation they have, I think this is legit. I think it is.
I hope so.
So I'm going to switch over. On eBay today, you can buy Samuel L. Jackson's Pulp Fiction screen-worn movie prop suit that he wore when reciting Ezekiel 25:17 and when saying, "You're a bad motherfucker, Brett." and do you read the Bible, Brett? Doing that whole scene. This is the
Big Kahuna Burger.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, she's a vegetarian, you see?
Which pretty much makes me a vegetarian. But I do love me a good burger. What you drinking? Sprite? Oh, Sprite. You mind if I have a drink of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
I can still, to this day, recall the first time I ever saw Pulp Fiction. Yeah. It was way late. Yeah. Way late. I had been awake for like 72 hours, and I was like, well, people say I should watch this. I guess I'll give it a go. It was my first Quentin Tarantino movie, too.
And like 20 minutes in, you're going...
Literally, at that... Do you mind if I have a sip of your tasty beverage to
wash this down?
I was like, oh my God.
Do you read the Bible, Brett? Well, there's this passage I like to recite in times like this. It's Ezekiel 25:17. Yeah.
The path of the righteous man
is beset by...
So good.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Samuel L. Jackson, Vincent's...
whoa.
Or, sorry,
Jules.
Jules. God.
It's Jules Winfield, apparently.
Yes. Jules' on-screen worn suit from that scene. This is that scene. This is that suit. This is that man. With a certificate of authenticity.
Supposedly, yeah.
From Christie's, by the way.
There you go.
So, this is the suit.
You are aware of this invention, right? And on this invention, you watch shows.
Yeah.
I butchered the line. I'm terrible. That looks legit.
Well, see, when they want to film a show, they do a pilot, and based on the pilot, they decide if they want to make more shows. Well, she was in one of these pilots, you see. Yeah.
Shoot, got my technique down and everything. No tickling or nothing.
Shut the fuck up. You know, my feet are tired. I could use a massage right now. Shut up.
I love that line because it's like exactly what any dude would say to their friend talking about foot rubs.
Do you give a man foot massage? Shut up. You know, my feet are tired right now. I could go use a massage right now myself.
Same ballpark, ain't even the same sport. Yes.
I'm saying there's a big effing difference between giving a woman a foot massage and sticking your tongue in the holiest of holies.
See, I was going to say that, but I couldn't think of a way to say it without swearing.
Not in the same effing league. There you go. Such a good movie. I'm going to go watch that now that I don't have anything left to do tonight.
Right.
I'm seriously going to watch that.
We're going to live stream it.
Yep.
So tune in. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you can join us as we live stream Pulp Fiction and our commentary.
Yep.
So good.
Bills and Coins,
Such
read my
a
last
good
comment. At Craft Computing, here's a solid racing game for the Wii. Has solid motion controls and a great soundtrack. Excitebox Trick Racing. Interesting.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Good for you, Bills and Coins.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Bills and Coins.
That's right. I have some Bitcoin over there, too, if you want.
Oh, is that right? 19 cents a Bitcoin?
Yeah, something like that.
$27 a Bitcoin?
Where am I going to get $20 a Bitcoin? I don't have $32 per Bitcoin. Where am I going to find $12 for Bitcoin in my pocket right now?
Look, I know we talked about this is where we're going to end, but have you seen this
Okay, one more.
this effort to reshoot Last Jedi? So there's an effort online to reshoot The Last Jedi. And they have all this money. They're asking for donations. But right now they've got $50 million of their own money in Bitcoin.
This extremely bizarre petition to reshoot The Last Jedi is gaining a lot of traction.
Among douche heads.
Right.
So,
firstly, if you haven't seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, don't fret, because there won't be any spoilers in this article. The reason for that is that I haven't seen Star Wars The Last Jedi either yet, so don't panic. However, many people have seen it, and along with those who liked it, there are a great many who didn't. And of that group, a few nitpicking babies decided to set up or sign a petition to have it officially removed from canon.
Shut up.
This is obviously a stupid idea because it is canon and official, and loads of people really enjoyed it. Just deal with it. Saying that, there is one Star Wars related petition that popped up recently. TheShortlist.com is fully behind. It is very important. It is a very important one that's campaigning to have the entire film reshot, replacing Luke Skywalker with a dog that solves mysteries called Rex Ruff. Although I haven't seen the existing film yet, I know without a shadow of a doubt that it would be improved with the addition of the mystery-solving dog.
See, Pixelated Boat, the same Twitter account that posted this that we're looking at right now, he also said, take a look at my script for the new Last Jedi remake. LucasArts, get behind this or whatever, or Lucasfilm. And it was said something about how we open up to a shot with Luke closing in on the being, the entity that gives him the blue milk in Last Jedi. And it says, we see him slurping down a whole glass, and he says, that's the stuff. And we watched this for 4 hours. Which I thought was funny. But there is honestly a very real movement by a group of people. They have so much. They have $50 million in line right now to help reshoot, and they're asking for donations. Anyway, it's stupid. Don't be one of those people. Yeah. Look, we all know that you guys hate Attack of the Clones more than you hate Last Jedi. So why are we on this boat? Like, you guys all hate Phantom Menace. You guys all ruined Jake Lloyd's life.
Screw you guys for ruining Jake Lloyd's life.
Right.
And screw you for ruining, what's her name's life?
Tram? Yeah, the actress who plays Rose.
Yeah, Rose. Screw you guys.
Yeah, seriously, get a grip. It's a movie, for God's sake.
It's a movie, and she accepted the part. She auditioned for a job. She got the job. She did her job. She went home.
And she did it great.
And you sons of bitches.
Right. Here's the thing. I love Star Wars, probably more than the next guy. I had a whole podcast based around pop culture and news with a Star Wars spin. Everything was Star Wars related. That's how much I love it. Did I like The Last Jedi the first time I saw it? I don't think I did. But then I saw it again, and I was like, holy crap, this movie is great. It was great. And she did an amazing job. Even Daisy Ridley is off social media now because of the ass clowns that are doing all this stuff. Yeah. Last Jedi is the worst.
Yeah, Mark Hamill got on. Hayden Christensen, I believe, got on too and said, would you leave this poor woman alone?
Seriously, it's ridiculous. Like, I always make fun of other fandoms as being the worst, but Star Wars, my most beloved fandom, is by far the worst.
Yep. Circling back to there have always been idiots, we just don't remember them comments that we started the show with. So this will have a nice symmetry to it.
Yeah.
We don't remember the idiots before because they didn't have the means to write down their thoughts to be remembered for all eternity. The problem with the internet today is that every single person has an outlet. Every single person has an echo chamber that they can go to, that people with like ideals they can scream into, and they're told they're right, and they're told that yes, that's the right fight to pick up.
Yeah, which is exactly the problem we
Which
saw
is exactly
in
what's happening. Right, which is exactly what. Don't go politics.
I didn't.
Don't go politics.
I didn't even mention
on
the
me.
word politics.
You didn't mention politics. Don't go politics on me. But that's exactly what's happening with this, where a vocal minority group, I'm going to call them a minority because most people go see Star Wars, they go, I liked it, or I didn't like it. And then they go about with their lives.
Right.
But there's a vocal minority who seek out Rose Tram on social media and tell her she's this low-life piece of crap who has ruined Star Wars for them. If that's the extent of your life sucks.
Yeah.
If that's what you're basing your existence on, get over yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now we're also dealing with like the fallout of like Solo not performing that well, and so
now we don't get an Obi-Wan
so
movie.
Good. No, we're going to. All the headlines said that they're suspending work on standalones.
Yeah.
They're actually not.
Yeah.
So thank you, Disney, for having some common sense, not dictated by a loud and obnoxious minority of your fans. Are they even
Boycott
fans?
Solo! Shut up!
Yeah, don't go to see Solo. You suck.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a great movie. What do you want me to say?
Yep.
Like, it's not like I have like the highest standards of all time, but also it was a great movie.
Yep.
It was fun.
I'm only here for the beer drinking. Why do you think I started this channel? It gives me an excuse.
Here's a quick question I like from Arendelle before we sign off, because we're getting close to that 2.5 hour mark.
Oh, that's a good question.
Arendelle, in the course of producing this channel, have you spent more on beer or hardware?
Hardware, no question. Hardware, no question.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious.
I've spent more on that camera than I have in beer in the entire lifetime of this channel.
Seems pretty obvious, Aaron.
Yeah. I mean, I bought this Threadripper PC so I could start video editing for this channel, and I'm trying to make it content for the channel, and I get like 1,000 views when I put up the Threadripper builds. Although my first one, I got 1,200 in the first 12 hours, so my most recent one with the water cooling has done better, but it's still not great.
Yeah.
But I've bought things like a Mevo Cam, where I can't use the Mevo Cam because it doesn't live stream to YouTube adequately, and I can't display what's on my screen. So it's like, okay, this is useless now. It was a fun attempt, but I can't use it now.
Yeah.
But when I said I bought everything on that shelf that's up there, I meant that. I bought every single thing pretty much at full retail costs on that shelf. The $1,000 2600 build that I did, I bought the 1060 that was in there at retail cost. My 8700K, I bought the processor and I bought the board. I got the RAM and the GPU and the case for free. I did reviews on those for Modern Sync, but I put in a lot of work to get that stuff.
Absolutely.
My streaming PC is all hand built. I bought the parts, I built them myself. My lighting, my microphones, my mix board has recently been replaced by a Creative K3 Plus, which I did a review on, which took me 15 hours to do, which is a $120 mix board. Who lost in that situation?
Yeah, you weren't even making $10 an hour.
Right, exactly. So yeah, hardware by far. And it's because this is the channel that I want it to be. And so I need to spend the money up front so I can produce the content that I want. So manufacturers and vendors... No, it's not a 1 hour show. It's a 2 hour show. It's always been a 2 hour show. I say at the 2 hour and 29 minute mark.
We always just stopped filming after an hour previously.
Right. But I buy the hardware that I want to use in hopes that I will one day be able to use it either for reviews or for sponsored projects or whatever else. And that started to work. These Corsair fans, I asked Corsair, hey, I want to do an RGB fan review for both an air-cooled and a water-cooled system. And they said, okay, how many do you want? And so I've built up the reputation where I do good reviews. I am building the right things. I'm making the right decisions with my channel. I'm viewer-friendly. I'm advertiser-friendly. Sure, you can have a review on our thing. Same thing with XSPC. They were so gracious to send fans over themselves. I have a keyboard that I'm going to be reviewing, which I've used this for about 5 minutes, and I love it. I already replaced it as my daily driver.
Yeah, it looks legit.
So watch out for this keyboard review coming up probably in about a week and a half or so. So yeah, hardware by far. I invest in my hardware because that's the content. That's all the content. There are people who watch for the beer, and the beer is
a small accent.
It's a small accent, and I've explained it before. It's a prop. It's something to get people talking. That's not necessarily about the tech that's on the channel.
Absolutely. Where
even if you're not interested in the tech, maybe you're just interested in the beer. That's one more reason to watch me. So it's all, I don't want to say a grand scheme from the beginning that's suddenly paying dividends. No, it was just stuff that I enjoyed that I put out there and people seem to enjoy, so I keep doing it. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I spend a lot of money on beer, don't get me wrong. but yeah, hardware by far.
Well, if you guys put the winning bid on this sweet, sweet Pulp Fiction suit.
By the way, I'm logged in there. Don't make an offer.
Oh, buy it now? It's only $180,000.
$180,000 if you want Sam Jackson's Pulp Fiction outfit, which doesn't come with the shirt. It's just the jacket and the pants.
The seller's name is Starware Status. I thought it was Star Wars.
No, it's Starware Status. They only have 253 feedback. I'm a little dubious if I want to buy from them.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
maybe you guys want to buy it and let us know how it works out for you. You can let us know on the how authentic that certificate of authenticity. Does the certificate of authenticity come with its own certificate of authenticity?
Yeah.
Who certifies the certifier? Exactly.
Who's monitoring the monitors of the monitors?
We're asking the real questions here.
To quote Enemy of the State.
What a good movie.
What a good movie.
With the Virtual Boy.
Yes. And the, what was that, a Digital 8 handheld player? Was the encrypted video?
Oh, whoa. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie like twice, maybe. Yeah. Oh, my God.
The needle behind the ear.
Welcome to the Wayback
Gene Hackman,
Machine.
Will Smith. Great movie.
Great movie.
Jack Black.
Is he in that?
He's in that movie.
No.
He's one of the analysts. And so is Seth Green.
No.
Yeah, they're the analysts that are cracking wise in the van. It's Seth Green and Jack Black.
Oh my God.
Get serious. Go watch it again.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Go watch it again.
I'm going to have to see that.
I think that's a good place to end.
I think so,
I think we should have ended half hour ago, but thank you all for sticking around.
Well, you know,
you're all still watching.
You mentioned how long the last one was, and, well...
And all of a sudden we broke it. 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Wasn't even that hard.
2:33.
I can go all night.
I can go all night.
Going all night now?
I'm going to go all night. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. I got to pee.
I was up till 3 in the morning making a video for you all to enjoy last night. Yep. And I hope you all appreciate it.
Oh, we will.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter at Craft Computing. Follow Rhett at Rhett is Awesome. And also check out Rhett's podcast, Game Dev's Quest, where he goes through the struggles of being a one-man crew game developer.
Absolutely. And to top it off, this weekend, if any of you guys watching have any sort of developer streak in you, we are hosting our 4th ever One Mechanic Game Jam.
It is. I have been looking forward to the 4th one.
It's going to be great. It is exclusive to Game Dev's Quest. It was. Dude,
yeah.
We had more people register and sign up for the 3rd one than we ever have.
40-something games submitted?
We had, I think, 62 games.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Maybe it was 40. But either way, it was like we streamed them all live playing them, and it took us like 5 hours. So, so this time we already have more, I guess, signups than we ever have. We're looking forward to have more submissions than ever. The One Mechanic Game Jam is a low barrier entry. If you have any coding skills or you have any sort of game engine in your thing and you want to come join a low barrier of entry game jam, come
Flash?
hang out with some... You can do Flash. Why not? Why not?
Oh, there's a lot of reasons why not. I say that from an enterprise perspective.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do not code in Flash. I will hunt you down and I will cut you, so help me.
Don't do it because Jeff will be really mad. But honestly, there is no limitations to this. You can come, make a game with one mechanic. When you're out of internet and Google Chrome is running around, you can do the dinosaur game. That is a one mechanic game. You can do anything you want. There's no real rules. But we got a little barrier. Come hang out and, check that out. We got a great group of guys. Lots of help if you need it. It's going to be fun all weekend. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the final weekend of June.
Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Next Wednesday is the 4th of July. We will not be on the air, but John and I are going to do a special Thursday show next week, so stay tuned for that. I'll tweet that out. So again, follow me at Craft Computing.
We'll see you there.
And Red is awesome. As always. Finger
Thanks,
guns.
guys.
Later, gone. Okay, now how do I stop?